beyond measure.
Well, that's
But
good. It's good to
my
see that in
paranoia or
retrospect. It's
Yeah,
it's difficult to deal with it while it's happening. Let me tell you, I ask you this because I got two cards about that. The first two cards, one is the Five of Cups, which is about a partial loss, and it shows a person who is focused on 3 spilled cups and doesn't see 2 cups behind him that are full. But the implication in that card is that you're going to turn around eventually and see that you didn't lose as much as you thought you did. And that's followed by the Nine of Swords, which is about sadness. Which tells me that there's some feeling of sadness that you have because of something that didn't work out. Now, that's the only bad news here, because the rest of it is pretty damn good here. I've got the Ace of Rods, which means it's a new opportunity in terms of businesses coming your way. That's followed by the 10 of Cups, which is great happiness. That's followed by the Ace of Coins, which means a new stream of money. The Ace of Rods and the Ace of Coins together is very powerful for business. And that's followed by the Sun, which is a card of health and healing and growth and happiness. So
yes, absolutely.
It seems to me that you're on a very good track now, but you're a little bit preoccupied with something that didn't work out. And you will be until you don't need to be anymore.
Well, the thing is, I just want things to happen quicker than, they've been happening. Like, I don't want to have to deal with, the law or anything to do with the law and the legal system. I want, my charge to be dropped. I want, financial freedom to where I'm not feeling like I'm being controlled or manipulated, or, that other people have some type of an authority over me. I want to be sovereign completely.
Well, and, there's ways to do that. But it involves giving things up. You have a legal case against you at the moment, I take it?
Yeah, 2 different counties for criminal, and one that was dropped in the system, supposedly on a computer, but I don't know because basically the judge told me to write an apology letter. And I have no idea what excuse my French. I have no idea. I have no idea what to apologize for. I was going through a Kundalini awakening, and all these memories, all these things were coming up, which I had no idea, were basically just signs to tell me, that to remind me of basically, my stepmother basically sexually abused me. People all around me are telling me that it didn't happen, but I know for a fact that it happened, and I knew that this company, because of my intuition, obviously my faith, that these companies and the world was going to, basically invest into getting, this fix for me and for other people that need this fix. And, the company ended up coming around. And
do you have the ability to read, to get hold of and look at transcripts of the court case so that you can at least see who and what the judge is talking about? Because I understand that in traumatic cases, we tend to forget. And listen, as to your language, my wife and I just finished almost 2 years of a lawsuit, and our language would make a sailor who'd been lost at sea blush. So after that, so I understand. This is immense pressure, this kind of stuff.
It was nothing out of ill intent or out of trying to scare anybody or anything. I was going through an awakening of my own, and the person was my best girl, I guess you could say friend that, is a girl of all time, like the best pure, pristine, relationship and connection soulfully, like in divine purity, not in perversion, not in anything, out of alignment with like just pure love, unconditional love.
Let me tell you. Let's look at some cards here about it, because what I'm seeing is that overall, I've got the Justice card here, which is absolutely perfect. If you hadn't told me about a court case going on, or at least one, I would have known from that card appearing. And the Six of Rods, which it's about success. So it's telling me that this is going to work out well for you. You're going to be able to handle it. So just if you can't get through with what the judge is saying, consult a lawyer. That's the best thing. I'm a very big believer in lawyers. I mean,
the thing is also I'm disabled. You're filling out disability paperwork, and realizing as I'm filling this out.
Then the disability lawyers may be able to help you with that, because it's almost impossible to get disability without going through a legal system. Check that out.
I didn't. I went actually to the hospital, was hospitalized, and they did all the work for me. But basically, in realizing all this, through this process, it was basically what happened was after the sexual trauma, I repressed the memory to try to survive in the normal 3D world.
Yeah,
and because
that's what happened. I absolutely identify with that. There's something that happened in my childhood that I didn't remember until I was in my 30s, and it was a shocker. Once I remembered it, and it was absolutely real. So listen, I'm just telling you that the cards are very favorable to you. Whether or not that means you're going to, quote, win the lawsuit or lose the criminal case. The point is that the ending, the way it works out is going to be good for you. Let me put it that way, okay? You're going to get through this, and this is interesting because here's part of the key is this. It's the Six of Cups. You really don't need to hear this, but I'm going to tell you because it may confirm what you're feeling. The Six of Cups is about childhood memories. Okay, so that's the key. Well, I've got to run, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to light a candle after the show, a nice white candle to send energy your way to help you to build up your resolve to help deal with this and to get other people to understand what you're going through. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
Because you seem very
County, the civil, and then Orange and Lake County are the criminal. I'm just hoping everything gets dropped. Yeah.
Well, I'm getting good cards here. The Justice card is a good one here, and the Sun, all these cards. So I'm going to make sure that I help send some positive energy your way. Okay?
Much appreciation and gratefulness. Thank you.
Blessings to you. Bye-bye now. And you're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with me, Reverend Elliot, on the Ask One Radio Network. Yeah, sometimes we get into so many problems in life and it traces so far back, but the healing process hurts, and it, who among us hasn't been there, right? Pat in Hoboken, New Jersey is next. Hi, Pat, you're on with Reverend Elliot. Pat in Hoboken, are you with us?
Yes, Reverend Elliot. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you doing? Pat, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought I lost you. I have very fond feelings for Hoboken. How are things over there?
Really?
Right now? Yeah. Well,
really?
I got my first break in show business from an actor who still lives in Hoboken. Although I think it's he was a wonderful guy. He's not dead, but he still lives in Hoboken. He's a hypnotherapist, and we keep in touch now and then, but not very often.
I think I know who you mean.
Yeah, he was in a couple of hit movies like Thank God It's Friday and The Choir Boys. So he was.
I think I know who you mean. Named Joe, right?
Chuck,
I know him. Yeah, I went to him. It's hypnotherapy.
Yeah, it's Chuck and Connie. I think they were on Washington Street, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. It's been so long since I've been there.
Washington Street, but I don't know where they are these days. I went to it many years ago when I went for the therapy.
Yeah, well, he was a really good comic, and an actor, and he gave me my first work as a joke writer. And he taught me so many things about the nature of the entertainment business. God, that was just beautiful. And I couldn't have gotten, I couldn't have fallen into the hands of a better mentor in my early years. So, Pat, enough about me. It's about you that you're calling. What can I look at for you?
All right, so funny you should talk about that. I was doing stand-up for a while, but I stopped doing it because of the COVID, and then because there's too much energy. What I really am doing now, just did a website. I'm a spiritual psychic medium, clairvoyant, animal communicator.
You know,
So
let me
just
tell
started
you,
a website. I want to see how it's going to go.
I think, in my experience, a lot of comics have psychic abilities, and I'll tell you why. Long ago, about politics, Lyndon Johnson said, if you can't walk into a room and tell who's for you and who's against you, you're in the wrong business. And it's the same. It's the same with comedy. With the successful comic can get on a stage and look at the audience and know if the audience is with them or not. You know, and you guys.
That's what makes it hard. Being an empath, I could pick up their negativeness too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's very important, because if you don't have that kind of ability to read the group mind, you're not going to get anywhere as a comic. You're just not.
I know.
You know, but fortunately, it isn't uncommon. I mean, everybody can do it.
And just too much energy right now. Right now, I'm concentrating on doing the psychic ability, because not everybody.
Well, the world is like a psychic echo chamber right now. You know, it's just really, you feel it, right?
Yeah. People need us now.
Yeah. What would you like to look at?
I just want to see how things are going to go. I have a new website, and I'm going to start making money from my readings. I mean, I do readings, but few and far between. I want to do more, like every week, a couple of readings.
Well, the first card I have is the High Priestess. That's very good. That's the woman who sees behind the veil. That's the person, the veil being what separates this world from the next. Right. So this is a woman of mysterious powers. The Strength card is here, which shows that you have the ability to stick it out. Let me tell you something. Folks should know that if anybody can get up on the stage and do stand-up, they can just about do anything. You know, because the great comic is recently passed away, Uncle Dirty. He likened the stand-up comic to a boxer, you know, because it's just you and them, right? It's just you and the other guys, and you got to win them over. You got to beat them out. But yeah, this is telling me that you'll do all right with this. Let me tell you. Here's what I can almost see what's going on. I can almost tell you exactly. Okay, you're going to be disappointed once you start doing this. Okay, that's a card I see. You're going to be disappointed, but you're going to make changes to what you're doing, and that is going to help you wipe away any obstacles, and then you'll succeed. Okay, and I'll tell you where I get that. The Three of Swords is a card of sadness. The Six of Swords is a card of moving yourself from where you are to where you want to be. The Seven of Rods is a card of eliminating all obstacles. And then the World is a card of assured success.
I can understand that.
So if you're going to set this up and it isn't going to work out as well as you want, don't let that crush you, because you'll figure out a way to make it work. Most of the time, when people fail at something, I have found that they've decided that they failed at it and they stop. Now, sometimes that's just called good judgment. Other times it may be premature. But I see that you're going to do it, and you're going to pull it off, and you're going to do all right with it. You definitely get a website. Definitely start a website. And
I have a woman already in North Carolina already getting one up for me.
Good. And you offer this around the world. And you'll hear from people, you know. Maybe you want to look into working it through Ask One Radio. You know, I mean, this is a great way for people to get to know you and know what you do.
That's true. Now, do you see me doing any of the comedy at all? Because I'm always funny anyway.
I'm not seeing. This is interesting. I'm not seeing much in the way of financial reward from the comedy.
That's the whole thing. That's why I stopped it. Yeah.
But I do see that the comedy is emotionally fulfilling to you, and it's something that you've wanted to do all your life. So that just because something isn't financially rewarding doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Just as conversely, something that is financially rewarding isn't necessarily the best thing to do. You know, so. But I'm saying if you just you've got to stick to the other stuff, because you have to build trust with people. Yeah, people have to understand that you're not just. Look, we start at a very negative position who do occult work, because newspapers never do stories about just ordinary advisors or mediums or readers. They always run stories about the charlatans. Now, if they covered dentists like that, we'd all have our teeth falling out. If they covered auto mechanics like that, nobody would get their car repaired. But they love headlines like saying, the police arrested a psychic. Why didn't she see it coming? You know, that's the one thing they love. But they don't talk about the millions of everyday path workers and esoteric workers who help people and guide people successfully and don't bleed them. And that's my first rule for people if they look for a worker, to help them out, a card reader, a medium, anything. If you feel worse after you saw that person than you did before that person, you're seeing that person, don't go back, because they're just trying to rip you off.
Everybody always tells me they feel better after by reading.
Good, that's the whole point, yeah, because it's true. Now, sometimes you've got to deliver bad news in a reading. It doesn't happen very often, but my theory is because people who get a reading are asking for advice, and people who ask for advice are open to solutions, and people who are open to solutions solve problems, you know. But if you do have to deliver bad news, you can do it. You'll learn how to do it gracefully, and you'll learn how to do it to keep going. So if somebody pays me for like a half-hour reading, and the half-hour mark comes up, and I see something really horrible there, and I tell them about it, I'll keep reading for them, and I won't charge them anymore, because the reading,
yeah, I do the same thing, yeah.
Continuing the reading is my idea, not theirs. No, so yeah.
Exactly.
So this is very important. The whole point. See, when people deliberately scare somebody, they're doing it to soften them up, so that they can sell them something, and that's not what we're about. Not at all.
Oh, I know.
And you know that. So what I'm saying is, you know what it is? Because I have a history in the entertainment business with comedians, and working myself as one who didn't in the 80s, but I was doing it for different reasons than they were. So I never quite fit in, but I had a ball. Oh God, I loved it. But combine them both, you know? Let's just combine them both. When I write my books about magical work and esoteric work, well, I think they're funny. And I can tell because I'm laughing already, you see, so I must be funny. I make myself laugh. But of course,
I tell everybody I'm a psychic medium extra large, and I tell my jokes telepathically. So if you think of something funny, it's me.
That's good. See, keep it going, because I'll tell you what you did get. How long were you doing stand-up work?
Since 2012, and then I stopped right by the pandemic.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. You've been doing it. You've been doing this. If you've been doing this like 10 years, you know how to talk to people.
About 6 years, yeah. But I know how to do it, though.
You know how to. Yeah, you know how to talk to people. That's the whole point. You know how to communicate. That's the only reason I did that. I know this is going to sound unbelievable to people, but I was extraordinarily shy. I was terribly shy. And I thought I could get by making a living writing jokes for comedians, but that doesn't work, because you always get dissatisfied with the way they do it. So what I did was I forced myself to be a comedian, to get on the stage. Oh, that was so difficult. But I did it because I wanted to learn how to talk. And then that's, you know, and nobody can, now they barely shut me up, right? Did a lot of good.
No, I know. I mean,
I'm seeing your strength. Here's the card. The card is the 10 of Cups, which is great happiness. Your strength is going to come from combining the two. But I've got to run because I want to get one more call in. But don't let that initial disappointment put you off, okay? Because you're going to get what you want.
And I can find you online to do a proper pay reading?
Yeah, definitely. I'm at magic-works.com, magick-works.com. And you can also,
I'll be in touch with you.
You can find me.
Pepper here?
You can find me through Ask One Radio. You can find me, just Google Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. You can find me anywhere. And it's
Reverend Elliot, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you have salt and pepper kind of hair?
Do I have salt and pepper hair?
Yeah.
Well, around the sides, at the top, it's a hard-boiled egg. That's.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah. What's left of my hair? Yeah.
I'm impressed.
The old joke. I used to have brown wavy hair. Little did I know it was waving goodbye. So, drop me a line, and I'll be happy to read for you.
Oh, we'll talk again. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye now. And let's see if we get right to another reading. See if we can get one more in. Andrea in Simpsonville, Kentucky. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Gosh, I love Kentucky. I've never been there, but I've certainly consumed so much bourbon in my life. I love.
Well, we're supposed to be getting some sleep tonight, so it's
Oh
cold.
boy, good. I've got so much bourbon in me. I'm practically part of Kentucky. So, what can I look at for you?
I guess I would like to look at my career or just any messages you have for me.
Okay, well, this is interesting. This is. See, I wish we had a little more time, but it's quite good. The first card is the Magician. That's a person who can take spiritual power and spiritual energy from above and use it here on Earth, and get results from it. And has all the tools. So you're a very powerful person. The Three of Cups is here. That means that something good is going to happen to you, and it's going to come about through your friends. The Emperor is here. That's a person who can take control, can take command, who can take charge. If we're talking about work and career, you're a go-getter. And you know how to run things. You have managerial skills. The High Priestess is here, so you have great insight. Now you have three major cards here, which tells me this is a very important question in your life. I'm seeing a lot of good stuff here. The Nine of Cups is great physical enjoyment and pleasure. The Six of Rods is success. The 10 of Cups is great happiness. I think you're going to be doing fine. I think you're on a good track. What kind of work do you do?
I actually just graduated nursing school in December.
Oh boy, you're going to do really well, because I'm just seeing I'm seeing a whole bunch of good stuff here. Now the important thing here is the Eight of Cups. That's a card that's very interesting because it shows what kind of person you've been, which is a person who can walk away from what is not working in life and go to what is. So you're very clear about making decisions about what's good for you. Oh, there's the 10 of Cups again, that card of great happiness. So you're on the path that's taking you from what you were to what you want to be. This is also shown in the Six of Swords, but this is more emotional than it is intellectual. That you know what to do to take care of yourself and to get what you need. The Eight of Coins is a person who starts a new job and does very well at it, works diligently at it, and succeeds, and it leads to many other things. So you're on a good path. You're on a very good path.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Is there anything else you want to look at? I have a couple of moments.
I don't really know.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. And if you think of anything, you can drop me a line. I'm at asktarot@earthlink.net, and that goes for anybody who wants to ask a few questions. So thanks for calling, and thanks for all the bourbon.
All right, thank you.
Bye now. And look at that. We've come to the end of another thrilling edition of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. And I missed a couple of shows the last couple of weeks because of excruciating lower back pain, which I thought had gone away. And then I decided to carry 25 pounds of tomato paste up 3 flights of stairs. I don't know where you live, but you must have heard me scream when I did that. I was thinking of writing a book about things you can do with tomato paste. I mean, edible-wise, edible things. I'm not that kinky. I think, one of my favorite things to do with tomato paste is I have a killer recipe that I came up with for tomato bisque soup. I make a wonderful puttanesca sauce from tomato paste. What else do I do? I know that purists will be mad at me for this, but I do make a gumbo with a tomato base. But I guess that's more of a jambalaya than with okra in it. who knows? It's I don't want to get into arguments down south about okra, but I love okra. And hey, maybe I should have been a Southerner. I eat okra all the time. I sip bourbon. I have a great old time. So I missed a couple of shows because there's really nothing entertaining or amusing about hearing a person screaming in agony every couple of moments for a half hour, an hour, But if you want to make up for lost time and talk to me privately, yeah, I'm up for that. You can reach me at asktaro@earthlink.net. asktaro@earthlink.net. And that is my email. And like I've said several times, I offer a free mini reading, a free consultation. I generally charge like $25-$30 for a consultation. But that's really to keep the curiosity seekers away. I don't, I know that you're not curiosity seekers. I know that you're serious about this because you're listening to the Ask One Radio Network. And I do too. Oh gosh. I sometimes think I might get a lot more done in life if I didn't listen to the Ask One Radio Network and watch their videos. And but it's so fascinating. There's so many new people here that I'm probably the biggest fan of Ask One Radio and glad to be part of it. And like I keep hinting, we're going to be doing a little expanded version of this show, the same time frame and the same time, but with a little bit more for your senses to appreciate. That's coming. I'm rather slothful these days. I think I mentioned this, that my wife and I had been involved in a lawsuit for years. I sued her. No, we were on the same side. And it went on for like maybe a little under 2 years. And oh man, that can be annoying, especially when the other side outright lies. And we had a wonderful lawyer who we've never met, because pandemic, right? Everything was done by Zoom and all that, but he came highly recommended, and he was really, really wonderful. You couldn't ask for anything more, and that just derailed us for so long. But concluding it was a shock. Something that goes on for almost 2 years and suddenly it's gone. You get used to worrying about it. You get used to being concerned about it, and suddenly this thing is gone. Life changes can be weird. I've pointed this out many times. Psychological stress units caused by changes in life are the same for divorce as for marriage. So why bother? Just go get divorced, right? Or the old joke says, I don't want to get married again. I'm just going to find some woman I can't stand and give her a house. Oh, wait a minute. I heard this in my mind. Yeah, that's better. I knew a guy got divorced and he kept the house. He kept 2 houses. So what can you do? So listen, that's my marital advice, and I'm sticking to it. Till we get together next week on February 30th. This is Reverend Elliot saying, who you are is the universe's gift to you. Who you become is your gift right back to the universe. Contact me and we'll talk about that one. Bye-bye now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Intuitive Readings with Nate Barron. Live from intuitivereadings.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Intuitive Reading
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. Wherever you are today, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Nay from Intuitive Reading. I'm a psychic and medium, and each week I deliver some insight into spiritual topics and deliver readings for callers. So now, since we spoke last week, I had delivered a number of readings, and they've all been very, very similar themes popping up. And I wanted to really take the bull by the horns this week and talk about it with you all. Because I feel as though this is affecting the whole collective, and so much so that we can't ignore these. So these themes include things like feeling attacked, feeling lost, or feeling like lacking purpose, okay? Also feeling lonely or feelings of loneliness. And I really want to address this with the wider audience because this is a really special and a really interesting time that we're living in now, astrologically. So astrologically, things are happening. And by paying attention to the lunar and the planetary movements, you are going to be exceptionally well placed to succeed and to manifest the things in your life that you really want. Okay. So astrology is an instruction manual, and it's a free one. You know, it's an instruction manual. It's a recipe book. So why wouldn't you use it? Ask anyone that's tried to put together an IKEA cupboard at 10 o'clock at night, or bake macaroons for a party that you found on Pinterest. You will always use the instruction manual or the recipe book. You know, if you needed to make a delivery to someone downtown and you didn't know where they lived, you would use, you know, your Waze, or you would use, Google Maps or whatever. You're always going to rely on those for references. So maybe ask yourself, you know, why can't I rely on astrology or use astrology in this way? And why am I making this so hard for myself? Okay. So Mercury's been in Pisces since February the 23rd, and Mercury struggles in Pisces because it's ruled by intuition and emotions, not logic and precision. Okay. So it has been a really interesting time for people. Also, you can find that you get a lot of brain fog around this time. Communication can become really foggy. You're not thinking as sharp as you have before, and you might struggle to really find words. That's certainly true in my own life. So I hope that resonates with you. There was also a full moon on the 24th of February as well. So that was a full moon in Virgo, and that can bring emotional intensity, heightened anxiety, overthinking, and we still have a little bit of that energy. It's still sort of lingering around now as well. So I'd like to do a bit of a tarot reading just for the collective now, just to see where everyone's energy's at. Okay, and so the six of Pentacles, all right, so this is about balancing your energy and giving and receiving in equal amounts. So we live in an energetic world. I often say that whatever you put in, you will get out. So trust that, and these things need to be equal, okay? So if you're giving more and not receiving more, like there's no equilibrium there, okay? So you need to think of yourself and say no when that's needed, okay? So being able to say no in those spaces. What else do we have here? Okay, so also the 8 of Cups, okay? So walking away and knowing when to walk away and walking away from things that aren't serving you. But walk away carefully is what Spirit's just telling me, and not to run, because changing things too quickly can create, added havoc and pressure on yourself that you just don't need. So this might be a situation for some of you now. This might mean walking away from a situation, a scenario, a person, a workplace. And again, it doesn't mean having to be cold turkey, but it can and should be progressive, sort of backing off, walking away. So be mindful of that. And finally, okay, so 3 of Pentacles here as well, all right? And this is really, this is a project card to my mind, a collaboration of sorts, and seemingly one that represents a financial benefit for some of you. And I do feel that comes in through at March as well. So I feel as though for some of you, there is an existing business idea that's suddenly going to get a lot of traction. And there is teamwork here too. So you're not alone in this venture. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. But again, that 6 of Pentacles, just ensuring that there is balance there too. So sharing of responsibilities in any of the collaborations and projects that you do together, okay? Contribute equally. Don't just put your feet up, and be supportive. And conversely, call people out if they're not sort of pulling their weight as well. So yeah, this is great. This is really great for you, this collaboration, this project, this opportunity to become part of a team. And Spirit is making me aware of March for that coming in for people as well. So go for gold here. You know, this is excellent for you. Now, I will jump to a caller. I can see I have Tiffany from Buffalo on the line. How are you going?
Hi.
How are you, Tiffany?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And do you have any questions I can assist you with today?
Just anything you pick up on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to use my tarot cards today, and I'm going to tune into a bit of a past and present situation for you. So I'm going to past. Okay, so in the past, I'm seeing a lot of balance for you, and doing a lot of juggling here as well. So they are making me aware of just being a really busy person and a lot of mind chatter as well for you. Does that resonate?
Yeah.
And what they would like to talk about in this space, and I'm actually just being drawn to talk about this card in particular, this Temperance card, and what they want to talk about this space is it's almost like a bit of a, like the hamster in the wheel type energy, very fast moving and very much like you do get a lot of mind chatter, and asking you to try and find some time to connect with yourself and to breathe, because there is like a lot of chaos. And I just heard the word circus. So I don't know if you have small children or if this is just a metaphorical circus, but yeah, they are making me aware that there is a lot going on around you at the moment, and it's okay to breathe. A bit of self-care needed in this space as well. I don't think it doesn't feel as though you need to, take a whole weekend off to retreat, but more so finding small opportunities during your day-to-day where you can just sit in silence and just breathe. Okay, so that's definitely what they're bringing through in that space. So that came up for the past. And if I turn my attention to the future and just see to the present and just see where things are currently setting. Okay, and they are making me aware of a lot of hard work. So a lot of exhaustion, a lot of fatigue around the work that you're currently doing. I do feel as though that does relate to financial, there is some financial stress around that situation as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so they are making me aware that there is a lot of hard work going toward this for a financial benefit. Okay, and what they want you to be aware of in this space is that that this isn't a permanent energy for you. That things do improve, and I am going to just pull a card for the future as well, just to see where this is going. They have said as well, in some respects, you are making things harder for yourself. So it's almost as though there could have been an easier road. So I'm just going to give you this analogy. This mightn't be the exact situation, but this is the analogy I'd like to give you. It's almost as though I'm trying to, save up for a business, and I could take the easy route and go and ask, a family friend, a family member to borrow money, or I could, get my numbers up on the books and then go and see a bank, that sort of situation. And they're sort of explaining, the way they're showing me this energy, it's almost as though you've had options or choices and you've kind of taken a more difficult route for yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I almost feel as though on this journey or on this route that you've chosen to, you don't have to commit to this route. So you can still you can still get to where you're going. And yes, all paths lead to Rome. But it's almost as though if this is too draining and too tired, okay, they just said sunken cost. Okay, so I almost feel as though there was a bit of a money, there could have been a money investment in something, and it's kind of not working out. So, for instance, if you put money into, I don't know, Google AdWords or something, and it's not, delivering the results that you'd wanted, or you've done a course or something, and you're just not getting the knowledge that you want out of it, what Spirit's making you aware of, it's more about the journey that you've been on than it is about becoming successful from what you've done, from that choice. Okay, so it's okay. It is okay to walk away from that option and sort of try a different path. Is what they're making me aware of. And I'm just going to try and get more information on that. Ask for help.
Okay.
3 of Pentacles. Okay, this is the project. This card came up in the collective reading as well. This is the project card, collaboration. And in this card, you can see 2 individuals speaking to a 3rd individual. It's almost like he's an architect speaking to the chippy who's doing the work. Okay, and they are collaborating on this sort of nice little design in a building. That's what the card visually shows. And this is the teamwork makes the dream work card. Okay, so it is asking you to consider who is it that you can ask for help in this situation. And there is going to be equivalent, like there is going to be giving and taking in this sense as well. So I do feel as though you do ask for help, and in return, you have the privilege of giving something back to them as well. It does feel as though that is a really nice energetic alignment, that relationship with that individual. How many? I almost feel as though that's 2 individuals that this collaboration happens with as well. And there is a good energetic alignment there. And it does remove the need for an unnecessary, like, look at this, the unnecessary amount of work that you've sort of been suffering and having to go through. I mean, there's a level of, our human experience. We do get a lot of satisfaction from burning the midnight oil, staying up late and just getting things done. That's just humans generally. We get a lot of satisfaction from that, looking back at all the work that we've done and saying, giving ourselves a pat on the back for that. But there is a time for you to take a rest. And for you, that's now. There is a lot of chaos going on around you. That's where you've come from. And in order to sort of step away from that and just to give yourself a bit of a breather, you need to bring other people in. Does that help?
It definitely does. A lot of that resonates with what I've personally dealt with in my life.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so
even
glad
just cards that you're pulling in examples for sure.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that that's been helpful. Well, thank you so much for your energy, Tiffany. And to all the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Nay Mary from Intuitive Readings. You can find me at Nay Mary Intuitive Readings on Facebook or intuitivereadings.com.au. There are some amazing light workers coming right up after this break, so please do stay tuned in and have a great week.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Zodiac Zone with Melissa Markham. Live from mmastrovibes.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Zodiac Zone
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everyone, happy Valentine's Day Eve. So tomorrow is Valentine's, and it's kind of so cool that it's on a Friday, right? On a weekend. I'm pretty excited about that. I wanted to mention where Venus is cosmically. Venus is in Aries, which it doesn't always like being in Aries. Aries is a detriment for Venus. And what I mean by that is that Aries is not necessarily tactful. So it struggles for that. When we think about Aries, we think about directness, impulsiveness, but we also think about passion. So for those who have Venus in Aries, these are some of the things that, that are part of your chart. I have Venus in Aries. So Venus in Aries means that people can fall in and out of love very quickly. They get pretty bored. So how it works was that Venus went into Aries February 4th, and then it goes back to Pisces. It goes in retrograde on March 27th, which is very interesting because March 27th is my birthday. So it goes back into Pisces on March 27th. So what it could mean for the other cardinal signs, which are Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer, is that the cardinal signs all tend to kind of work together. So what it could mean is that maybe it's good in love if you have a conversation or something that you want to say, that to be very direct and to mean what you say and say what you mean. And also express your passion. That is very important. So that's what I wanted to say tonight on this Valentine's Day Eve. I'm going to do a reading now. So just to kind of give you a background for those that are listening for the first time, I'm a vibrational evolutionary astrologer, which means that I'm going to look at your soul purpose of why you're here and what holds you back from living, at your highest vibration. So I am going to take Luann. Luann, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Happy Valentine's Day Eve.
Happy Valentine's Day Eve to you as well.
I'm going to do a evolutionary reading. So like I said, I'm going to really look at something called the lunar nodes in your chart. They are elliptical points in the sky, and they're very karmic. All of us have them in our chart. It's the south node is the past lives, early childhood, and the goal is to try to get to the north node, which is your North Star. So let me put on my glasses here. Luann, I'm typing. What is your birthday, day, month, year?
February 24th, 1968.
I'm sorry?
February 24th, 1968.
1968. And what was your birth time?
8:46 a.m.
8:46 a.m. And what was the city and state that you were born?
Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So very interesting chart. I'm going to say what it means. I'm going to talk astrology, and then I'm going to tell you what it means. Your south node is in Libra in the 6th house of Virgo, and your north node is in Aries in the 12th house of Pisces. And also, just a side note, you have a yod in your chart, which is a spiritual assignment. So think of like Princess Diana, her 2 sons both had yods in their chart, and it was really about ancestral mission to kind of change the monarchy. So I feel like you definitely have mission and purpose in this lifetime. With the south node in Libra in the 6th house, I feel that first you worry a lot, you're a worrier, and you definitely are a people pleaser, especially probably in your work. You know, you probably are the person to kind of take on more projects, or always there to help somebody, and always there to, you know, lend a supportive ear or hand. But it's almost at a detriment in the fact that you're not giving it to yourself. You're always helping others. And it's really about you coming into your Aries. And your ascendant's in Aries too. So it's really about you standing up for yourself, leading something, building something, and you saying, you know what? I'm okay. I don't need others to define who I am. I am all of me is me. And it's in the 12th house. So I feel like when something's in the 12th house, it's really coming to terms with it, not only in a conscious standpoint, but an unconscious standpoint, where you really feel the best about you in all situations. And you do have Chiron. I do look at Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. In Greek mythology, Chiron was a centaur, half man, half horse. And he was immortal. So he existed in his wounds every day until he was released and really understood the meaning in life. Yours is in Pisces in the 12th house. There's something about that you have maybe trouble connecting to source, or you have trouble, something about, and it's something about mental illness or people in the hospital, something about that, something about, I don't know, could be past life stuff. You know, a house could be anything from 30 to 40 different things. How does this feel? Does this, and I feel like too, with Saturn there's a little bit of fear, you know, and like I feel like with all of this, you're really interested, but you're like, it's a little bit scary too. How does this all feel? Do you resonate with this?
I resonated with everything up until Chiron.
Up until Chiron? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could mean a couple of different things too. You know, it could mean when things get too heavy, you want to isolate. You don't want to talk to anybody. You want to kind of just be in your own kind of space, you know? 100%. And again, those are some things that it could be. But I feel that with the sun in the 11th house, you are a people person. You know, you're good with people. People like you. People trust you. And you're probably really good at what you do. You have Venus in the 10th house. You also have Mercury there. They're both in Aquarius. I feel like when you do your job, your career, you kind of do it your way, you know? And you speak your way. You know, it's like a little bit to the beat of your own drum. But it really is about you getting into your power and you feeling like, you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I'm me and I'm happy with me. And whatever they think is what they think, because I am a South Node in Libra too. And I spent years people pleasing. And then I realized, listen, the only person that I can really please is myself. And that's the most important person to please is yourself. Even though there's always that hint of us thinking, well, is that selfish or am I being, am I not being loving or caring? No, because if you're always giving it to other people, you're not giving it to yourself. Have you had a lot of jobs? Or have you changed your routine a lot? Because you have Uranus there in the 6th house.
So I've always had multiple jobs, and I've had I work in a salon, and then I've had a freelance business. Got it.
Yeah, and I feel too with you have Neptune in the 7th house, and it's in Scorpio. Do you have a soul partner? Is there somebody that is like a soul partner? Are you looking for a soul partner?
I'm looking for a soul partner. I thought that I found a soul partner, but it's not seemingly working out that way.
I think it's hard because South Nodes and Libras are such diplomats, and it's one of those things that, and this, I would caution, and I struggle with this myself. It's we give and give and do and do and do, and we expect the same in return. And 9 times out of 10, that's not always the case. So right. It's I think it's really about balance and not always looking for perfection, because there's a tiny bit of us inside, or there's a tiny voice inside says, okay, he seems great, but why doesn't he do this and this and this? So, again, whenever you're feeling that, you're giving too much, pull back and start giving to yourself. And also, because it's in the 6th house, I'm just going to say it blunt because my Venus is in Aries and I'm going to be blunt tonight. Let that shit go. The worrying, the thinking, just let it go, because it's really about us saying to ourselves, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. And tomorrow, if you don't have a partner, be the partner, have a partner in yourself. Do something really nice for yourself this weekend. Something that you wouldn't usually do for yourself, do it this weekend, give it to yourself. Because Venus in Aries is about loving ourselves too. So, and that's what I have for your Valentine's Day reading.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And if you ever want to go deeper, we can go deeper. I do business readings. I do personal readings. It's my website is mmastroVibes.com. So happy Valentine's Day to you, Luann.
Thank you so much. To you as well.
Okay. Have a great rest of your night. Yeah, and I wanted to leave you with that message to everybody listening, that it's important to do things for yourself. We get so into having the perfect lover, doing the perfect thing, and I believe that it's loving yourself.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyons.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is New York City Celebrity Psychic
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, Karen Knuckles. Hello, darlings. I'm Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic, and my shoulder is on fire. But aside from that, everything's fine. And I hope you're having a nice, cozy evening in. You're welcome to come over and bring marshmallows, by the way. Let's see. Am I loud enough? Okay. So we're coming into the new moon in Pisces tomorrow, which is going to feel like a very dreamy day. And new moon is always a time to sort of set intentions, kind of start over if you feel that's something you need to do, or just start a whole new cycle. It's a great time. I'm going to use the M word. It's a great time for manifesting. I know you've heard this from a million different places, but I've discovered that the best way to manifest is just assume that you already have the thing. Or if you don't have it, just go steal it. No, maybe that's not. Hold on. Let's rewind. Anyway, so it's, yes, new moon in Pisces. If you're a Pisces, this is an especially auspicious day for you. You could be surprised by a new interest, a new love, a new hobby, a new parakeet. I have 2 parakeets, so let's see. We're also about to do the tarot psychic weather, which is just like regular weather, except, say it with me, less damaging to crops. And psychic weather is starts today and goes for the next week. And even if you just happen to be idly wandering by when the Moonstruck TV show, this one, or the A1R radio show, this one, is on in the background, this still applies to you. You cannot escape. But I've just noticed over the past couple of years that the psychic tarot weather. Oh, hi, Mia. I'll be with you in a couple of minutes. And while you're waiting, Mia, I love the name Mia. It's beautiful. I also really like Omaha. While you're waiting, I'm going to ask you to do a special breath. I'm going to ask you to do 3 of them. So you're going to breathe in like this. Then breathe in once more on top of that, like that. And then you're going to pucker your lips and let the air out through your lips, like you're blowing out a birthday candle or your whoopee cushion. And with that, I'll tell you why. Because I said so, young lady. No, that's not why. Because it stimulates the vagus nerve, VAGUS. When stimulated, you'll wake up in a hotel room in a Nevada city surrounded by 10 unconscious sex workers, 40 empty bottles of liquor, and 10 years of your life missing. So we want to make sure to stimulate the right nerve here. Okay, so do that breath, long and then one on top of it, and then out like a whoopee cushion, and think about your question, and I'll be with you in a minute. Yay! Thank you. Okay. Thousands cheer. Cakes and ginger beer for all. Okay, so the first card is like today, the next couple of days. Second card is like the weekend. Third card is, the days after that until Wednesday. I suddenly forgot how days of the week work. This is interesting. I don't get to see this card very often, and I really like it when I do. This is, can you see, it's very shiny, which is good. Here, let me put it up. Boop, there. Now you can see it. Yay. It's very hypnotic. I feel like if I go like this, stare at the card, you will send me all your money. Okay. You can get my address from the station. So this is not the Lover's card. This is the 2 of Cups, which in some ways is almost better. It's less fraught. So in the next couple of days, you might be meeting somebody who just unexpectedly knocks your socks off. I mean, not literally, that would be weird. We don't want you wandering around barefoot. But if you notice, you'll see that they're exchanging a cup, and it goes from their throat chakra, which means that they tell each other the truth, down to the heart chakra, which means affection, maybe even love, down through the silver chakra, which is confidence, and then the orange chakra, which is discernment and also naughty things. So this says that you might bump into somebody with whom you have an instant, inexplicable attraction, and to trust that. Oh, the other thing is that's the Archangel Raphael up there, and the Asclepius, which is the staff of healing. You see that like on prescription pads. If you seal them, forge them, and sell the contents, like I do. Oops, did I just say that outside of my head? Anyway, so this is really interesting. Keep your eye out and be open to be open to unexpected love. Okay. Unsurprisingly, after that happens, it looks like you're going to be sort of rethinking your future, or maybe starting kind of a new journey you didn't expect to start. Now, this could be a literal journey, but the Fool card doesn't mean you're going to be a fool. The Fool card is taking a step up in your life and a step up in your frequency and starting a whole new path that is usually really good. So if you're thinking about anything you wanted to start, now is the time. And as I believe the German philosopher Goethe said, whatever you, wait a minute, I have a, whatever you do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius and power and magic within it. There you go. Oh, that's nice. It's kind of a weird deck, but my friend Meredith gave it to me, so Oliver. This is the Crow deck, and it's the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups means that you're going to be experiencing some sort of a return to some kind of childlike happiness and wonder, even if you're really grumpy and cynical like me. Sorry. This is me being grumpy and cynical. It also feels like, I don't know, maybe like the daffodils are starting to blossom where you are, and that makes you happy. Maybe you've started to rediscover an artistic or creative interest you had when you were a child, or it's just something that's not necessarily material. It's something kind of spiritual and fun and creative. And so enjoy that. Yay. That's what I say. So it sounds like you might be meeting somebody, and that's going to wind up giving your life a sort of nice twist. And you're going to be experiencing childlike wonder without the whole messy diapers thing. Okay. That was the psychic weather. Mia, my darling Mia, thank you for being so patient. Are you there?
Thank you. Yes, I am.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. My shoulder's on fire, but aside from that, I don't know if you're listening on radio. That's the visual. So I like to connect to people through their birthdays. So when is your birthday, my angel?
My birthday is September 4th.
Oh, Virgo, the most misunderstood sign. People think Virgos is like, it is though, because you guys don't get the credit you deserve, because people think Virgo is about like being very neat or having OCD or being very prim. It's not about that. It's about purity. It's about a lifelong quest for sort of taking abstract truths and making them real in the real world. And there's a kind of idealism that's very beautiful about Virgos. Anyway, you're a Virgo. I like that. So how can I help you, my dear?
I just would want a reading.
Okay. Do you have any particular question, or should I just dive in?
Morely about like if there's anybody in heaven who wants to talk to me and my relationship.
Okay. Let's start out. Feels like you've lost 3 people in 3 years. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. It feels to me like you've lost, I'm so sorry about this, like you've lost like maybe 3 people in the last 3 or 4 years. Is that correct?
I mean, one of them is my family, and then like my grandma's side. They're really close with me, so yes, like 3.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, love. Is your grandmother still here? No.
Yes.
She is. Okay. I wasn't sure. She had a very strong life force. Oh, I like her. She'd be fun to go out for a beer with. Okay. I'm getting, let's see. 2 people are coming forward. I can usually only do 1 at a time, but it both seems like they passed a little before their time. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
Are you there? It feels like they both passed a little before their time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a boy and a girl? I mean, a man and a woman?
It's a man.
Yeah. Okay, he's stepping out first. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Did he have a K name? Not Curtis, but like a K in his name? What was his first name?
Nietzsche?
Nietzsche?
Yes, but his name's Juan. It's my uncle.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My other uncle, Jason.
Huh. I don't know where I was getting the K from. Is the name Carlos in there anywhere? Like a middle name? It's okay, not important.
Carlos? No.
Okay. Nietzsche, what an interesting name. Okay. Can you tell me his birthday?
His birthday?
Yeah. Or his
That's
sign?
the 29th.
Of, what? What month?
Hold on just a second. It's my mom. She knows all. Hold on.
That's okay.
I think it's July 20.
Yeah,
What,
that makes sense.
When's Nietzsche's birthday? When's Nietzsche's birthday? Is it 29th? Is it the 29th? Oh my God. Okay, just ask. When's Nietzsche's birthday? When's Nietzsche's birthday? July 29th.
Great, thank you. I'm sorry to ask, but because I've got a very Leo energy coming through, and that seems
29.
like him. What's your?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can repeat that.
No problem. Okay. That makes sense because I'm getting a very Leo energy. He wasn't super young, but he was much younger than he should have been when he passed. Was it?
Yes, he was in like his 20s. He's going to be in his 30s.
Yeah. Was it an accident? Was there like a motorcycle or something involved?
No.
That's interesting. Did he pass? It feels like he passed quickly, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's showing me a motorcycle. I don't know why. Maybe he just likes motorcycles. He's about 5'9". Honey, I'm getting kind of 2 people at the same time. Hold on. Guys, I appreciate it. Do you mind stepping aside a little? Thank you. We're going to Nietzsche first. What a fascinating name. Okay.
Well, his name is Juan, but like we call him Nietzsche for a nickname.
Cool. It's okay. So hold on. He's about 5'9". Has he got like a dimple or 2 dimples? He's got a great smile.
Yes.
Yeah. Very funny, kind of jolly, kind of deep, actually. Loved music.
Yes.
And was your mom? It feels like she was his big sister, but he kind of treats her like a little sister, if that makes sense. He would.
I mean, she took care of him, but she's like more. She calls him a son, but like that's still her brother.
Yeah, but he's very cheeky. Do you know that word? It's a British word. It means kind of funny, saucy, impudent. I like your cat. Okay. And
yes, he made his own music, and my mom put it out there for him, and he actually died overdose
Yeah,
of fentanyl.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. Did he have a slight limp of some kind? But is there a, like, I don't know, I'm getting something to do with a hurt foot or a hurt leg. It's not important. Okay. It might have happened right before he passed. He did not want to pass. He also would like to apologize to you guys because he, do you have a brother and a sister?
Yes.
Okay. He loves you guys, and he says he's there with you a lot, and he's very encouraging. You can also ask him for help with small stuff if, like, I don't know, if you're studying for a test or they like to do. They can't volunteer to help us unless it's like life or death. But if we ask them, they can kind of step in and just help us out. Like, find me a new boyfriend, or help me study for this test. So
yes,
is he kind of barrel chested? Do you know what I mean by that?
No.
Barrel chested, kind of a big chest. Like, I don't think that tall, but kind of wide shoulders, and then kind of, I don't know. Anyway, barrel chested. It means kind of a medium size, like, torso.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Maybe a little burly because he worked. And he's got a tattoo on, I think, his right bicep. Got a couple of tattoos. Okay, I got the right guy.
Yes, couple, yeah.
And I'm not very confident about saying names right now but is your mother's name, does that have is there like a Judy or something beginning with J in his family?
No.
Okay.
But my grandma, his mother is Jeanette.
Okay. That's who he's apologizing to. He loves your mother too, and he's very grateful to her. And he wants me to tell her that he's really sorry he didn't listen because she gave him really good advice, but he was very willful, if that makes sense. He really wants to apologize to his and your mom's mom, the Jeanette. Yeah, that was the J I was getting. Because she kind of hasn't been the same since. If you could tell her from him that he is always with her, that when she feels like...
She feels him all the time.
All the time, yeah. Sometimes it'll feel like a breeze on her cheek or her neck. Sometimes it'll smell like... If she smells like, you know, that firewood burning smell? Or, God, there's something else. This is going to sound crazy, but birds are of any kind are a sign that he's around, especially for some reason, I don't know why, Canadian geese. So if she's outside and she sees like a flock of Canadian geese, it's sort of him saying hi. But he's always with her. Always.
Yeah, my grandma always said that she sees birds coming to her window and he'll just talk to her.
Yes.
And he'll go, like he'll sit there and go after.
Yes, exactly right. It's funny, there's a very beautiful Hopi Indian song. Says, we become birds when we die. Anyway, I guess he can't stay too long because I don't have the energy to hold him, but he wants you to really concentrate. He says, don't get distracted by boys or girls or whatever romantic thing. I think it's boys with you. Don't get distracted. If you haven't already gotten a degree, he says education is very important for you because you kind of don't know how smart you are. And you're very smart. You're good at science. I don't even know if you know that. Like biology, stuff like that. You'd make a very good chemist. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but it's actually a lot of fun. So if you are not in school right now and you feel like going back to school, he's being really encouraging about that. And yeah, because you're very smart and you've got a successful future. You just have to, you're very sensitive. You're very sensitive. And sometimes he's saying you can let things throw you off track a bit because you're so sensitive, but he says just take a deep breath and just keep moving forward. That's the most important thing. And he loves you and your brother and your sister. He's a lot with your brother. He doesn't want him to make the same mistakes he did. Your sister's fine. She's just sort of totally normal. Am I right?
Yes, for my brother. It's just surprising because he was there with him and he blames himself a lot, and it's been really hard for him and my sister, and they live together. So they've been drinking a lot, and it's just been a lot on everybody.
They need to go to AA, which is really fun. A lot of hot guys and girls there. And they both need to know that that was his time. Before we come into the world, we pick the time we're going to leave. He always knew he was going to go young. That's why he lived kind of full throttle. It had nothing to do with them. Nothing. He's very grateful for all three of you because he really taught him about love. One last thing. Does he have a kid too?
Yes, he just had a kid. He didn't get to meet, and he has 3 children.
Yeah, but there's a brand new one.
Yes, his baby, yes.
Yeah. Girl? Is she a girl?
It's a boy.
Oh, interesting. The others are girls.
He has his hair long. Yes, that's how he had it back in the day. So he does look like a girl a little, but he's not a girl. He's a boy.
No, sorry about that. I was a little mixed up.
No, you're fine.
It's important to him that you guys all stay in touch, like you stay in touch with your cousins. Yes, we do. Very important.
He's just like him. Looks like him and all.
Yes.
Loves his music. He listens to his dad's music.
Well, Nietzsche was very talented. He played a couple of instruments, and he wrote songs. He had a good voice too. He played it feels like he played bass, guitar, and occasionally like conga or drums or something. But and he was born musical. He was musical from when he was a kid. Well, his talent lives on through his children. You have your own talents. He's really on your side and cheering you on. And hold on one second. Dave, shall I stay with Mia since we got this far?
I'm sorry?
Okay. All right, my darling. I'm going to have to jump off. But I hope did that land for you? Is that accurate?
Yes.
I'm so glad. Well, huge hugs from here, and stay in touch. And Mia, just bless you. And that color looks great on you. All right, sweetie. I'll talk to you soon. Stay in touch. Bye. And I get the coolest people here. Carol, thank you for being such a patient angel. Hi, patient angel. How are you?
That's great. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I like to connect people through their birthdays. So when's your birthday?
Christmas Day, 1968 at 12:37 p.m. in Chicago Heights, Illinois.
Oh, I've been there.
So I got my nail chart.
Yeah, I can't do all that in my head, but I love that. Okay, wait a second. That's my favorite week of Capricorns. Talk about a misunderstood sign. That week of Capricorn, you guys are very, very proper and very, present. We can take you anywhere, but underneath you're very original and a little crazy.
Yeah, we're very, very misunderstood because my mother always said, when I was good, I was very, very good. When I was bad, I was horrid. So
like the little girl with the little curl in the middle of her forehead. Yeah.
That's what she
I really
said
like
to me.
it.
Yeah, the curl.
Now, I'm going to talk really fast because we've only got about 3 minutes because when I'm doing mediumship work, I lose track of time. So sorry about that. So do you have a specific question?
Just whatever you're picking up in the spirit world.
Cool. Wow. You have a lot of... Do you come from like a close family or a big family? Because you got a lot of people on the other side around you. And you also
lost a lot of pets. I lost a lot of people and pets.
I'm so sorry. Well, you're really loved and you're really protected. I mean, don't go crazy with that, but you're very protected. You're very supported. But also it feels like you have. Do you want me to pop into relationship or career right now?
Career.
Okay. You're underselling yourself. You're extremely talented at a couple of things most people aren't talented at. I'm trying to see what they are. God, one of them feels like, I don't know, this geometry or draftsmanship. Something being very precise with like a pencil. I don't know what that is.
I used to draw and paint in the arts.
Yeah. You'd also, if you can figure out a way to go back to school, you'd make a really good architect because you think both conceptually. You think like on your left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. So you are good at concepts, but you're also good at like organization and admin, better than you think. I would really see if you can go back to school if that's an option.
I'd like to do something else. I am very organized. You're right about that.
Yeah, but you're also creative, and that's very unusual.
Oh yeah, because I'm always creating new things and changing things around in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. You'd also make a good. It's called feng shui. FENGSHUI.
Oh yeah.
You'd be awesome at that. If you wanted. Yeah. You have a natural genius for that.
My house
very good.
Has all 4 elements in my house. I even have a fish tank and a water fountain for the water part.
I'm just gonna pat myself in the back here. Pat, pat, pat. Yeah. If you just wanted to study up and get a quick certificate in that, you've got such a great feel for like energy, the way it moves through a room, and for composition. That's why I was saying architect, because they're kind of similar. That would be a really nice side hustle. We got 60 seconds. The other thing is the person in your life who keeps coming back and forth romantically. Do you know who I mean?
A romantic that comes back and forth?
Yeah. It's okay.
Is it someone I work with?
Might be, but don't go there anymore because you got something much better coming. Yeah, coming up in July.
Life, but there's someone that I have a little a crush on, but it comes and goes.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm picking up. I would go after that person. I think we got 30 seconds. I'm going to talk really fast like a New Yorker. So I think that person also really likes you too, but you're both kind of going like are waiting for the other person to make a move. So I would go outside of your comfort zone, like ask this person out for an ice cream cone or something non-committal, but still like, hey, you want to meet me for some cherry vanilla? Sorry. So anyway, all right, my love, I've got to Zoom, but let me know what you decide because you've got real talent and it's just lovely to meet you. So call back next week. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you for being here. That color looks great on you.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV. Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Mystic Medicine with Dr. Nikisha Faye. Live from drnikki.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Mystic Medicine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Such an honor to be here. Dr. Nikisha Faye, mystic mentor, spiritual guide, wisdom teacher, and a whole bunch of other hats that I change from, that I change from time to time, depending on, what's happening around the place. So I just wanted to share first, I've just finished a beautiful new moon circle, and we were discussing or sharing teachings around accessing higher self. And, we're all aware that there's a higher self, that we have a higher self, but we are actually our higher self. And one of the resistances that I see quite frequently in my clients that makes it difficult to access the higher self is a lack of self-love. And why this is so important is because if we don't believe that we are worthy of that, or if we don't believe we're of value enough to hold our higher self-consciousness, then it's not possible. And, one of the things that stands out is there's actually an energetic gateway that exists between the heart and the solar plexus, which is the space of the sense of self. And this gateway can become constricted when we are always picking on ourselves, when we focus on all the things we're not good enough, or we did a terrible job, or we're silly, or we, make bad decisions, or we blah, 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 blah. I'm sure that, that some of you at least will be able to relate to that. I remember I was terrible at it when I was younger, and it was really something that I had to allow myself to be relieved of, because the things that we tell ourselves aren't in alignment with the fact that we are already our higher self being. And so this beautiful, divine, high frequency part of us is already part of us. But what happens when we get stuck in the repeating stories about problems and, especially about that we're the problem, then it's not a match. We're a mismatch energetically to be able to connect with that higher frequency part of ourselves. And so, the beauty of doing the inner work and, the introspection and reflection so that we can witness these faulty beliefs, I like to call them, but these untruths that we tell about ourselves is such a big key to allowing ourselves to change that pattern, because it becomes a habit to, just be begrudging the self, all the time. It took me quite a long time to break that habit, but it's when you start to be aware that it's a habit and allow yourself the possibility that maybe that's not true, because it's not true. It's not our higher being self, which we are also. And, so we get to choose which frequency bandwidth we want to play in or reside in this earth school or on this earth plane. And so when we're continuing to allow ourselves to be stuck in all of, the problems and, unworthiness, not good enough, not lovable, all of these things, and we all have them. This is really important to recognize as well, that we all have these faulty beliefs. And so not getting mad at the self for having these faulty beliefs. There becomes more spaciousness when we realize that everybody has these patterns. And when we create more spaciousness in our awareness, it makes it much easier to change the habits of, belittling ourselves or, believing, that we're not good enough for things. And so what I was feeling into is, if anyone who's on this call and can really relate to that, because the guides shared a beautiful process with people to help to shift some of those patterns. And it's a process that you can use repeatedly. And so if you are interested in that, if you want to get in contact with me, I'm happy to share that with you. I can share with you the link to the recording. So you could contact me through my website. There's a little contact me at the bar, and just leave a note that, you're from this beautiful community and you'd love to access that recording, and I can send that to you. Or if you send me a message through the social media as well. So I'm at Dr. Nikki Energy Medicine on Instagram, or the School of Metaphysical Practice on Facebook. And if you just drop me that message, then I'm happy to share that link with you, because, these faulty beliefs really keep us doing everything that we really desire to do in our lives. And it's like this big barrier of energy. And so anyway, without further ado, I just thought I'd share that with you. But if you can relate to that, I guess the invitation here is to maybe notice when you're being mean to yourself, and ask yourself, is that really true? And then if you come to the beautiful heart space, if you listen to the episode from last week, I dived a lot more deeply into the energy of the heart, and I took one of the callers through a beautiful heart process. And, that's a short way to do that, to come into your heart space, breathe, bring the energy of your true heart forward, and then ask yourself, is that true? That story that I am terrible or horrible or blah, 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 blah. And then the more often we do that, we catch the habit, and then the less we tend to do that. And that's literally how I reprogrammed myself to stop doing that, is I kept catching myself. I'd pause in the moment and go, whoa, stop. And then over time, you start to create new patterns. It's like all the energy, work that I'm sharing here with the callers, and, with others who come to different offerings that I have too. It's in the repetition. So we can harmonize a lot of energy in the moment, and you'll feel really great after doing it. But it's the repetition that starts to create the new patterns in your energy, which will then start to bring a new experience in your life as well. All right, let's take that caller. I missed the name. Who have we got here? Sarah, hello. Are you there?
Hi. Yep.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Did you have something particular you wanted to bring forward?
Just, I guess, my next steps going forward now into the future, I guess.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so what I'll get you to do is to imagine you're breathing in and out through your heart space.
Are you able to connect with that?
Yep.
And as you slow down your breath, just relaxing into it. So what I'm feeling is that there's something ahead that you really do want to do, but there's an energy of what if it doesn't work out, and it hasn't worked out in the past. And there's also some other options. But what the guides would like for you to know is your true heart's desire is the higher timeline, and the stuff from the past is not the stuff in your future unless you carry it there with you. And so stuff that's, happened in the past that may have you believe it's not possible to do what you really do want is just the past. And that will be the barrier if you choose to believe that the past is still true for you. Are you able to relate to that?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. And so if you tune into your heart and breathe your beautiful heart energy, and just let go of the doubts, or if you can connect with any of the doubts, what I'll do is get you to imagine there's a green ball in front of you. And in that green ball, we're just going to pop all those doubts. But as you do that, sitting with the doubts and thanking them for being there, and thanking them for being the gifts that are going to allow you to walk through them. So then they can't be stories anymore. Once you allow yourself to walk through that, they can't be the same stories anymore. And so if you just take any and all of that, really allow yourself to feel all of the stuff that's there, even stuff that doesn't even seem reasonable, that sometimes the mind likes to grab onto. It happens to us all. The mind tells us some crazy things sometimes. And just popping all of that in the green ball. And then imagining you take your hands on each side of the green ball. So we're taking all of that out of your body, out of your energy field. Imagine you're holding the green ball. And now when you come into your heart space, breathing into what it will feel like when you are doing what you truly desire, when you're walking that higher timeline. How does that feel?
Good. It feels better.
Yeah, and so breathing into that, and breathing into that so strongly that you feel the energy of that move down your arms and into your hands, and start to dissolve what's in the ball. The stuff in the ball is just old stories. Some of it's not even real, has never been real. And then imagining right in the very center of your heart a light. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes.
As you breathe into that, this is your beautiful light. And as you breathe into it, it comes forward. This light is unlimited. It's the same light that's in all things. And as you continue to breathe into that, it grows and expands and starts to fill all of your heart space. Are you able to connect with that?
Yes.
And now as you continue to breathe into that, I'm going to weave your light with that joy and that gratitude of walking your path as you desire. Really allowing yourself to feel it as strongly as you can. And then breathing all of that beautiful energy into this green ball. And so it fills with light. And then that green ball gets lighter and lighter until it turns back into light. And as you come back to your beautiful heart space, really basking in your light, as your true essence is this high frequency, higher self frequency connection. And so as you continue to breathe into that, if you allow yourself to do that every day, put any of those doubts and fears in the green ball whenever they arise, come into your beautiful heart light, know that you are already this divine light and feel that, and then allow her to guide your way. How's that feeling for you?
It's good.
Yeah, well, good luck. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, we have Jennifer.
Hello.
Jennifer from Philadelphia. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've been basking in light all morning.
My question is, I have seen the angel numbers 111 or 1111 consistently, maybe once to several times a day for the last several weeks.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out what they're trying to tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, firstly, they're bringing your awareness to that they're around.
Okay.
And is there something at the moment that, you know, that you're kind of teetering on, not being sure about making a decision?
Yes.
And, you know, and so when the guides are waving to us pretty much, when they're doing things like that, they're letting you know that they're supporting you and to trust.
Okay.
Coming to that trust of, you know, what it is that you truly desire. And, you know, notice when doubt and fear creeps in and realize that it's not true. Doubt and fear is a construct which is the opposite of love.
Okay.
And love is that essence that we already are. That's this beautiful higher self, you know, the higher self frequency that we've been sharing about, that beautiful heart energy. So I'm just going to take a moment. And they want you to know that you do know. You do know, like you're very intuitive. They just showed me that you feel. So when you feel your yes and no, do you feel your yes and no?
Yes.
Yeah, know that's right. That's
okay.
You communing with your higher self wisdom.
Perfect.
Yeah, and to trust that and allow that. And, when you are feeling unsure, really coming into that heart space, doing a beautiful heart-based practice, like that we did with Sarah just before.
Right.
Did you hear that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you come into your beautiful heart space. And breathe into your heart. They're actually showing me your wings, your angel wings. Yeah. You're connected through the realms. You've got an angelic lineage as well in higher dimensional realms. Yeah. I see that sometimes in people. It's like the angels will be around and it'll be, do you connect with the angels? And then that's why. That's why you have an affinity for them. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, and they want you to know as well that they're always there for you to lean into as well. If you take some quiet space and, if you feel like that you need support, you're feeling unsupported, just call them in and lean into them and, feel their beautiful embrace because they are there with you.
Okay.
Yeah, and if there is things that you're not sure about, come into your beautiful heart space, raise your frequency and connect with them. Connect with them. Because from that space of expansiveness, it's easier for us to access the bigger picture as well. So when we're raising our frequency by connecting in with our true heart, by connecting in with those frequencies of gratitude and joy and appreciation and, letting go of all the things, if you need to put them in the green ball or, the beautiful thing is with practice, you can actually drop into your true essence really quickly.
Really?
With practice over time. Yeah. That's why I always encourage the 5 minutes a day. So 5 minutes a day into everybody's life. And, so if you sit there and you sit in that heart energy, some days it can be really hard at first, but it's like anything that, with practice, it gets easier.
Okay.
And it's the same with dropping into your beautiful true essence. And then the beautiful thing is when we're in that space is we can much more easily see what's not true.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, from that space, we can see what's not in alignment with that higher frequency when we're in that higher frequency.
Okay.
Yeah, and it makes it easier to make decisions and all of those things as well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Yay. So, that was a quick one. That's so beautiful. And I love that. What I love about, this work is that it's not uncommon that there'll be, certain practices and it'll be relevant to a bunch of people at the same time. And I've just really found it beautiful that even this week, what we were sharing about the self-love bridged on really well to last week because we started talking about, the beautiful energy of the heart last week and, that expanding now this week into, the depth of what's actually happening with our heart energy. And, we can use that to raise our frequency so that we then become a match to our higher self because we're already our higher self. That's the beautiful thing. It's not something we have to try and struggle to become like we're kind of, we're taught to believe sometimes that we need to do X, Y, and Z to become, what we want to become, but we already are that. And that's what I love about this so much is that it's not about becoming, it's about remembering
that we already are. And it gets so much easier to remember when we shed the layers of untruth. You know, when we start to really dive into our energetics, which is a reflection of our subconscious. So our subconscious actually reflects out into our energy. And, you know, without getting too much into the into the intricacies of it, but that's then what draws to us the experiences to help us remember. You know, even the bad ones are there to help us create change so that we can ultimately come back to remember the truth that we're already our higher self divinity. And so, you know, just to, you know, reiterate what the message from today and from this morning's moon circle was, it was about self-love and, you know, how we can start to reprogram speaking to ourselves with kindness. And so I'll leave you guys with that thought. And, you know, don't forget, if you'd like a copy of that recording, I'll send you a link. You can just get in touch with me through the contact me at the top of my website. Or if you're on social media, reach out and say hi. I'm always sharing fun things on there as well. So that will be at dr for dr.nikki.energy.medicine. If you look at those on either of Facebook or Instagram, you can find me there. So it's called the School of Metaphysical Practice, which is my beautiful school where we do a lot of teachings and trainings and deepening into all sorts of different mystical wisdom and practices and things like that. But yeah, feel free to reach out. You know, I do have a connect call. So on my website, you can see you can book a little chat with me. You know, if you are interested in, you know, seeing how we might be able to work together, or, you know, what sort of things you might be interested in learning more about as well. Yay. So I'm having lots of fun doing this. If anyone does have any questions that, you know, that you'd like me to share about, at the beginning of the session, do message about that as well. If you have a topic that you'd like to know more about the greater reality, always happy to incorporate that as well. Yay. So I hope you all have the most beautiful weekend. It's new moon, so enjoy. I'm sure some of the other beautiful people here who do more with astrology have shared with you all about this beautiful transition portal that we're in for the next couple of weeks. The Pisces, new moon. Dream your dream. Notice the resistances and trust that your dreams are there for you to walk through into your reality. Love you lots. Mwah. Sending you all the sparkles and love from across the ocean if you're on the other side of the world. Take care.
to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Hallie Elise Show with Hallie Elise. Hallie Elise. Live from HallieElise.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is the Hallie Elise Show
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone. As always, I am delighted and excited to be here this evening. And a little sad tonight as well, because this is my last show here on A1R for a while. I am taking a bit of a sabbatical. Lots going on. If you have not followed me yet on social media, please do. You'll be seeing me soon in a book series called The Change, and that is CHANGE. If you follow me on social media, you'll be able to see more about that. In the meantime, we're here this evening to do readings for you. And I'm going to share something that's kind of interesting. I've recently had an experience with a loved one passing, and having the opportunity to be there in the space when they were leaving. I find that it's fascinating that some people have these massive experiences at that moment. For me, for 2 weeks prior, was having different experiences, hearing things and thinking to myself, that's interesting. Why am I hearing that? Why am I getting that sensation? Why am I getting that feeling? And yet there was that tiny, tiny knowing far in the back that the reason it was coming through was because it was preparing me for what was coming next. The idea behind this and sharing is to let you know that there is nothing to be afraid of. It's an experience. And whether you're very close with that person or you just have an awareness of that person, we all come onto this earth plane might be the best way to express this, knowing that at some point we have to say goodbye. Oftentimes we are not prepared. Doesn't matter how much preparedness we have, we are not prepared. I will simply say, do your best to stay grounded, no matter what's going on in your world. If you have a parent, a grandparent, a child, a dear friend, a cousin, doesn't matter, coworker, whomever it is that's around, if you have the sense that they will be leaving soon, just observe, just listen, take note to those intuitive hits that you get for yourself. All right, we have a lovely caller on the line. I believe it's Alicia or Alicia, which is correct, huh?
Yes, Alicia.
Alicia. Okay. Nice to talk with you this evening. Did you have Thanks. Did you have a specific area of focus for tonight?
Well, mostly whatever you could tell me, but my finances is a big thing right now. I had to leave my day job on 210. I just had to quit because I got attacked, a lot of plotting, a lot of criminal things where I had to get an attorney involved, but I didn't go through with hiring the attorney. I just walked away. So I haven't had a job since the 10th. I do own my own online company for 6 years, but it's been shaky and not stable with income and trying to get it flowing. And so I did get a job offer on the 25th of this month, but then I got hired but didn't start any hours. Well, today they decided to take the job position back, and they made up all kinds of reasons, and it was a lot of jealousy because I do have my own company, even though it's not flowing so well. The girl is jealous of me because we kind of do
I am a dementia educator, but she's not where I am and don't have the education and so forth. I'm pretty sure you're going to pick up everything, just to be short about it. But they decided to make up all kinds of reasons why they should just take the job position back. Because for 2 days of next month, I won't be able to be at work. But that's a pre-hire dates that I told them that I'm not going to be able to work. So they just tried to make up dates reasons why they needed to just take the position back when I didn't even start actually working the job yet.
Please note that this is actually a good thing. I know it doesn't feel that way. However, what I keep hearing is if you were to, and I'm just getting major confirmation, if you were to take the job and follow through with it, you would be bullied. And nobody needs that. I feel like the previous position has a spillover, if you will, meaning that discomfort that you were feeling at the previous job that you just left feels to me as if you were to take this new position, it would have a very similar interaction, not something that you need, something that you don't, let me phrase it this way. You don't want to have any position, whether it's by your own volition or working with someone else, where you're so exhausted each day because emotionally you have to defend yourself, whether that's proving that you have worth or it's standing up for yourself because somebody's taking the things that they shouldn't. That creates chaos in every area of your life. And the previous job that you walked away from has a very strong feeling of that, as well as the one that they said, no, we're not accepting you. We went a different way. This is actually a blessing, even though, yes, you need that consistent financial support. Yes, you want to be in an environment where you're doing good and making a difference. However, again, even though it doesn't feel like it, this was a blessing for them to back out. Now, all that said, I keep hearing March 1, March 1st, March 1, March 1st, which tells me at the very beginning of March, something is going to show up for you that is going to be the right fit. That's separate from your business that you own and operate yourself. In respect to the business that you own and operate, the only reason it is not, I'll say, growing at the level that you would like it to and having the consistency that you would like it to is because it doesn't have a foothold in the marketplace, meaning there hasn't been enough activity. There hasn't been enough awareness of the business.
Exactly.
I would love for you.
Exactly. You're not to cut you. Exactly right. And ma'am, you are so right, because I just want to confirm what you're saying. And because I went and got, ma'am, you are so right, because I went to a marketing meeting. When was the marketing meeting? Oh my gosh. I went to the marketing meeting this week. I think it was yesterday or the day before, because I need more awareness. And a business coach picked me up because I wasn't able to pay for one. I went to go get a book, get a book event hosted because I'm an author. And that, when I went there, he was able to tell me how to go get connected to some business people that come and sit down in his coffee shop. So just by me going to do that, it opened the door for me to get connected to business people. So I listened to him and got connected to these business people that connected me to a marketing agency. And so I went to the meeting. And so now I end up finding a business coach. I went to the meeting. And so now I have a business coach, and they put you before other people that come to the meetings that's in business, so that you can meet other people that might be able to, like, help you get in front of marketers, how to help you, how to brand yourself, get in leadership and things like that. So that was able to help me get awareness. So yes, ma'am, I need more awareness.
Okay. To add to that, it's very important that everybody you speak to, you tell them what you do. And that means it's not just, hi, I'm an author, but what does your work what does your book bring to the table? Meaning, working with the geriatric set over the last 10 years, I find that I really love making a difference in seniors' lives. You follow? Something like that, a statement like that, opens the door for people to be intrigued and to want to know more about your writing, and for them to say, how can I help you? Think of a couple of lines truly that really embody your writing, embody your work, and share that when you meet them. Not just, hi, nice to meet you, or, oh yeah, I do a little writing. Be very succinct, very clear. And I'm not talking about an elevator speech, and I'm not talking about standing in front of a large group and speaking for 15, 20 minutes. I'm specifically thinking in terms of a couple of sentences that express who you are and the book that you are sharing. What value does it have? Really give thought about that. It's not just about you using your wisdom or using your words. It's about what value it's bringing to the reader, what value it's bringing to the people that you are telling about it. That makes sense to you?
It makes sense. I have two questions. I'm going to get exposure. I have to go to the biggest hospital that's here. I got invited to be able to go to the expo, but of course I have to pay money to be a part of it, to set up my table and everything, to have a workshop there. I'm going to have to pay money to have my spot, but it'll give me great exposure. It's a senior exposure in the neurology clinic. So I definitely need to go there because my company is dementia that I own myself. So do you see that I need to do that, the senior expo for my company?
I feel that you do. And I will say again, keep in mind when you speak to people that you have to be very concise, but get them intrigued when you speak to them, because there's going to be a lot of people there who are just as hungry and just as motivated as you are to have the exposure and have the interaction. What's going to make the difference for you is those first couple of sentences, captivating them. Please spend some time on developing what that sounds like. Try it out on your friends, try it out on your family, get some feedback before you do the events. And then you will be, when I get chills, which is great, you will have excellent results. You will get the types of results that you want. Now, you had another question.
And I am taking my books, I'm taking my brochures, I'm taking my flyers to show like what all, everything I offer in my company, my consultations, my webinar, everything, and have it all laid out to, so that I can start getting sign-ups for the things that I offer in my company. And my last question was on the 19th, like I told you, I went to the marketing company meeting to brand myself. I have to do, my business coach had me set up a presentation because I have to do my first presentation in the front of this marketing company, because all these businesses and everything is going to be there in a lot of dementia companies. So I have to do my business presentation asking my why, and why am I here? Why do I need help? What do I need help with? Well, I need help with my marketing and to get awareness. So that's what my presentation, my PowerPoint presentation is about, that I'm presenting in front of all of these entrepreneurs that is there. So on March 19th, that's what I'm going to go before all these business people too, is to showcase my company on a presentation slide, tell them who my target audience is, and ask them how can they help me get in front of my target audience. And maybe I was already told that some of my target audience will be there, and then I'm showing them what I do in my company and how can they help me. I'm telling them this is what I need help with. I need you to help me reach my target audience. So
let me make a suggestion here real quick. A couple of things. One, if you are doing slides, please don't have more than 3 things on the slide for your audience to pay attention to. Here too, you want to be as concise as possible. People's attention spans, unfortunately, are not that long. Even in that environment, when you have the perfect situation, make it short and succinct. If you normally have 5 bullet points, 10 bullet points, Cut it down to 3. Take a look at your 10 bullet points and make it 3 per slide. The other thing is, do your best not to look at your slide when you click on it. Be confident in knowing what your slide says when you're speaking to them. And as far as your ask, let your ask again stimulate their curiosity. Come up with a way to share what your need is without saying, I need you to help me with. I promise you, if you do this, you are going to be a very happy camper. I feel like there are 2 people in the audience specifically that will reach out to you and will help you perpetuate your business. All right, my friend?
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay. Thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
night. My pleasure. Bye-bye. Now we have another gal on the line, and I saw Carol from Cedar Lakes. Is that correct?
Yes,
Cedar Lakes.
correct. Hi, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm good. A little financially strained and getting over the flu. Other than that, is trying to keep my head above water in the financial part of my life, and I just wanted to see what you would pick up on in a general read. It doesn't necessarily have to be about that, whatever you're picking up on.
Okay. One of the things that popped in immediately when we said hello is your finances often are tied to your romantic life. And what I mean by that is when you're feeling joyful and feeling loved, and if you think about this, you'll see there's a pattern here that your finances seem to flow with more ease. When you're feeling a little stressed, whether it is because of just not feeling good within yourself, not specifically having to deal with a partner, but it's more a matter of like, I'm just not happy, I'm not liking the way I look, or I'm not liking the way I feel, it has an impact. I mean, really a direct corollary on your finances.
I was suspecting me getting, since I don't get sick a lot, me getting sick because I'm getting depressed, because I was supposed to get a big tax return, but if I would have made $168 less, I would have gotten about $3,000 back, but I made $165 more than I should have last year, which brought me down to basically zero, and it was a shock because my taxes were always have been the same. At the same time, I knew a homeowner, I just had to buy a water heater, and then I get sick. And I'm thinking I'm manifesting my depression, and my body's telling me to snap out of it. That's how I took
it's
it.
That if you will, the romance with yourself as well as the romance that you're having with other people. It's really important.
Romance is the last thing on my list right now.
I get it, but I'm communicating.
I'm weird. I'm just not into the romance. I've been married 20 years.
No. You're not. See, this is it. Listen to what you're saying about yourself. You're weird. That's not being loving to you.
Compared to a lot of people, and when it comes to the Valentine's Day romance stuff, I'm just not into it.
Right, but you don't have to be, hon. What I'm trying to say here is, if it's about somebody else, great. If it's about you, even better. But in this particular situation, there is a direct connection between those, I'm going to say, loving feelings. Let me put it that way. I think that might be more clear for you. The loving feelings you have in connection with money. When you are feeling more confident, more happy, more pleased with yourself, you will find that money seems to be more fluid. When you're feeling compromised, overwhelmed, depressed, sad, your money is a lot less. Now,
you're right about that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. The irony here really is, here you made more money and you would think you're rewarded for that, right? That there should be those tax benefits, and yet it puts you into a different bracket, which means you got less.
Right.
Okay. On a good note, next year's is going to give you a lot more, because you're going to be able to deduct all sorts of things that have to do with your home. However, between now and then, if you really want that money to be attracted to you, you really want to manifest at the level that makes you happy, you have to start looking at, again, loving feelings. And I know that sounds very abstract, but it has to do with the energy connected to what you're desiring for yourself. You're putting yourself in a place.
Talking about my husband.
I'm talking about you, I'm talking about your husband. I'm talking about that, if you will, tension that's there instead of flow.
Mm-hmm.
If you can put your head into the space of, no matter what's going on, I'm going to think sweetly. I'm going to think gently. I'm going to allow myself to remember things that are good. You will notice money shifts, and you'll also notice, as far as your husband, things a little different there too. But I keep getting small.
It's a different kind of situation, a whole another can of worms I don't want to get into, but there is a reason for that. No. But anyway, go ahead.
We don't have to get into that, but what I keep coming back to is there is, I'll call it a defensiveness or a protectiveness. That might be even a better way to phrase it.
Oh, yeah, I lack that. I lack the protectiveness because I have to fix everything in the house. So when I have to figure out how to fix the furnace, I'm the one who knew where the water main was when he broke the pipe in the bathroom off the toilet, and I had water spraying all over the wall. I'm the one who knew when. Thank God. Oh God, I can't breathe. He's had head injury. He can't help it. About 13 years ago, he was a carpenter. He got hit in the head, and he's had head injury. So his hand-eye coordination is not good, and he takes a lot of medicine, and he sleeps a lot. So he's not the man he used to be, and that is why I don't have a love. I don't. He wants to be intimate, and I just don't, because that's just not what I'm turned on to. I'm just not. Right. And I'm in menopause, and it's the last thing on my mind. For whatever reason, it's the last thing on my mind. So I feel bad. Go ahead.
You can be romantic and sweet and loving without engaging in the physical. It can be.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Connecting to thoughts of other times, connecting to.
Yeah, like I bought him chocolate. Yeah, I bought him chocolate. I tell him I love him. He has to kiss me goodbye, and I do all that. Yeah,
Which is good.
Yeah.
So you have to give yourself that love. I keep coming back to what I'm hearing is you're not being as loving to yourself. And let me give an example right here. You knew about the water, what to do, and you're not recognizing that you're going into the defensive mode of, but I have to be the one to take care of, but I have to be the one to fix. And instead of, wow, isn't it great that I knew exactly what to do? Isn't it great?
Yeah.
No, seriously. That's loving.
You're right. I haven't pat myself on the back for that yet. I haven't. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Because of all the drama and other things that have happened, kind of just erase the fact that I need to
The overall impression that I get is it's been roughly 5 years of situations that are taxing, situations that are pushing you to try and get in touch with that part of yourself that says, no matter what, I'm going to thrive. No matter what, I'm smart, I'm capable, and I'm loving. You're calling it pat yourself on the back. I'm calling it loving yourself. Two different words, but they come from the same vein. Get more connected to that part of yourself, and you will see your money starting to come in faster and come in fuller. The other thing here is get more clear about the numbers, because you're not clear about the numbers that you want. So for instance, being in a different bracket means more taxes. However, if you're in a different bracket and you made an extra $50,000, it would have been more comfortable. You follow?
You're right.
Get clear about the numbers, but before then, seriously, get very comfortable at being kinder, more loving to you. And I'm using the word kind, but only in the respect of allowing yourself to acknowledge what you're achieving, allowing yourself to be sweet to you. And even with him, again, doesn't have to be that physical, but acknowledge the fact that when he's saying he wants something with you, he's doing his best to be loving.
Yes, yes.
Doesn't mean you're on the same page as far as that. It simply means having that knowledge that it exists and embodying that energy. That makes sense?
Yeah. Right, yeah. We're not on the same page a lot, but I love him, and I never go with another man. If anything happened to him, I tell you, I would never even look at another man. But, which is besides the point. It's just that we don't connect like we did before with the hand. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine. I have a 18-year-old son that I love dearly that lives with us in this nice, comfortable house that's been flipped. We've only been here a year and a half. We all love it. And everything's going great. It's just first it's the car. A couple things wrong with the car, then the water heater, and something else had to be repaired. All kinds of crap. Just nickel and diming me to death lately.
You're going to find these, I'll call them little glitchy types of things, are going to continue to happen between now and July. However, July is going to be a pivotal point for you where things shift, where money flows more. And again, I will reiterate, if you can truly focus on being loving and being lovable, seeing that, I promise you will see that money flowing in. So for instance, all of a sudden you'll get a check for $25 that you didn't expect. You'll be like, oh, that's weird. I didn't even think about that. Or you're going down the street and you find a $100 bill. Or your kid comes home and says, hey, Mom, I made an extra whatever. Seriously, you will notice all of a sudden it creates this flow. It starts coming in. Though, again, I'm going to reiterate, please clear on
I
the
work
numbers.
with public, and I know how to spread the love a lot. Yeah, I use that. I do that a lot. When I work with the public, I spread the love. Just by telling someone, giving them a compliment, by making their day, you've changed the whole vibration of the whole planet. I believe that I'm using every little bit counts.
Okay, so please pay attention to when you do these things, and as you're being loving to someone else, say to yourself, I'm so happy I know how to be loving and lovable. Make sure that there is that balance between you and everybody else, and watch the magic happen. Thank you so much for calling this evening.
Thank you for that little thing, because that's what I'm going to do now, so I don't forget to say that little thing. I'm happy that I am loving it to myself and others. So.
Correct. Take good care, hon. I hope everybody enjoyed this evening. Be sure to reach out to me on Facebook at Hallie Elise, or you can contact me directly at hallieelise.com. The site's been there for forever.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Understanding Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. I'm your host, Mary. I hope you're all doing really well and you're having a great week. Not too long for the weekend. I'm a bit excited. We're going to jump into the 3-card pull for the collective. Now, keep in mind, this is a collective reading, and take the message as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate with you, just let it go. It might make sense on another day or whatever. So, just see how you go with it. Have a bit of fun with it. Okay. The first card for the collective, if that's what you've chosen, is this one. And I keep hearing with this card, like having the mudgy touch. And it does have mental clarity written on this card here. And I just feel like this is a time for you to be listening, to tune into your intuition, to be processing information. There could be somebody in your life that heavily influences you. And I feel like this person, you even potentially could have had a past life with, but be receptive and sort of like heed whatever advice that you get. If you feel like there's an injustice or anything around you, there could be some relief coming around that, or you may need to accept some truths about yourself or about somebody else. Okay, so just kind of take that message as it resonates. If you have picked card 2, this is the Ancestors card. This comes up, quite a bit, I feel, but always for a reason, because our ancestors are always around us, and our loved ones looking after us. Right, I'm getting like a very strong money vibe around this. So whether you have got a windfall or you've come into some money, or there's money-making ideas kind of thing around you, bigger salaries being offered. I'm getting investing your money wisely. It's also like, don't hoard too much of your money. Be generous where you need to be, and just think that through. Also, if you're trying a new venture or a new investment or new opportunity, I'm getting, do your research, be cautious before you kind of like jump in with that one. The third card for the collective is the Animal Totes card. As soon as I held this card, I just saw the spirit of a lion and, the power of a lion coming in. I'm getting there's a lot of communication around this card. There could also be a job offer or a contract or good news coming through. Also social contacts I'm getting, and also I'm getting think with your head, not with your heart, and also releasing old habits. It's almost like uncluttering your mind, all right, and just thinking differently, clearing out the space in your head so you can think clearly, and and just be strong. I'm just hearing be strong like the lion as you move forward. Okay. I have my caller, Sarah. How are you, Sarah?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. You have the same name as my guide.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
How can I help you today?
I was just kind of wondering, in terms of different relationships in my life, if there was anything that I should kind of experience closure on and move forward with everything, or if there's anyone trying to give me any message in that area.
Yeah, you definitely have somebody giving you messages in that area, because there is a gentleman that has been with me, and I wrote down the messages. So I'm going to give them to you because I feel that they will fall in line with the questions that you have around your relationships, okay? The first thing, though, that I heard was a lot of jazz music. I heard the song When the Saints Go Marching In by Louis Armstrong, and it was the chorus part, like when the saints go marching in, yes, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching in. So I don't know if this spirit like jazz. I kept saying the word New Orleans. Does that make any sense for you?
Not really.
Okay, that's all right. I'll give you the messages because that was just the song that came in. I did feel that you do have a lot of spirit helping you out at this time. All right, and I could say, like, there's a lot, not like one or two, like a lot standing behind you. All right, and I felt like, well, you know, like you need a lot of assistance at this time. Okay, now the messages that I heard was time to tell the truth about how you feel, sweetheart. The next one I got was it will make no difference if you lie, it won't help. So like that means not calling you like you're a liar, but saying like if you say, no, I'm okay, that's okay, it's not going to help you to be that way, okay? And I also got life is passing you by. Come on, hurry up now. You know what you need to do. And then this mail said to me, which I actually loved, not even perfect is perfect. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense for you? I actually love that.
Yeah. That does.
Yeah, and just getting kisses and you know that he's squeezing you tight, giving you hugs and that. Okay. Now regarding relationships, when I started, just before I started the show, I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of feeling like a lot of pressure on myself, like anxiety going through the roof. Like I felt nervous. So I don't know if you're feeling nervous about just ringing up or what's going to be said, or whether it's about these relationships that you're talking about. But you know, I'm still feeling like that. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah. And you mentioned that my spirit is a male figure.
There was a male that came through, yes.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I am getting. I'm getting a feeling of being trapped. I'm feeling like a lot of things being like done to me, said about me, and I just feel really restricted. Like I can't move forward. I don't know how to move forward. And I'm also getting that you just want the truth about things. And I feel like, you know, and you've been pushing for that or kind of demanding that. And I feel like there are decisions around that you need to make, but you're not wanting to make those decisions. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah. I'm very indecisive, so absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I'm also getting that you hold on to people really tightly, like in a, not that you're possessive, but in that kind of sense, you know, that you don't like to let go of people or things that you value. You know, you like to sort of keep close to you. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have choices, Sarah. All right, and you do need to make these decisions for yourself. All right, you are going to feel a loss about whoever you let go of. All right, you do need to move away. You do need to be honest. You do need to have honesty from the people that are around you as well. Okay, you do need to move into like moving forward, moving into like calmer waters where you're not feeling this anxiety and feeling stressed in this way. I'm also getting you need to stand up for yourself. You need to create boundaries around these people that you're fighting, you know, to stand up for yourself, okay, to create boundaries. Yeah, I'm getting anxious again now that I've brought that up with you, and it's not from me. It's from your end. The anxiety. Look, just I'm getting told if you need to walk away, you walk away. All right, Spirit are very clear on that. You do what you need to do. If you feel that the truths are not being said or like you can't trust them, then by all means make the decision that you need to make around that. Okay? Does that make sense for you, Sarah?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And I'm also getting a pregnancy around all of this. So whether it's you're pregnant or somebody else is pregnant, okay, so yeah. So just have those conversations with your person. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Take care, Sarah. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
I will. You too. Thank you, everyone.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Love Life with Katana Star. Katana Star. Live from katanastar.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Love Life
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Katie, and this is Love Life with Katana Stuff. How's everybody feeling? I've been an emotional train wreck, to be honest, with this new moon energy in Pisces. Everything feels really amplified for me, and I was quite emotional last night, and I had to do some grounding stuff to bring myself sort of back down. But you know what? This is all part of where the planets are at the moment, and I won't go into all of that, but you know, it's about just remembering your tools to help you breathe through it, because our emotions are heightened. But it's also a beautiful thing in the sense that our intuition's also really heightened too, with Pisces being one of the most emotional, intuitive signs of the zodiac. It's a perfect time to be tapping into your intuition, to be listening to that inner voice, to that, you know, doing that introspection time, and also, you know, beginning creative projects and things like that. So at the beginning of a new moon, it's also about manifesting and bringing things with some kind of emotional significance into fruition, you could say. Just doing a collective message from the tarot as we speak. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot more level now today than what I was last night. It was really emotional. But anyway, I guess we all go through that at some point, don't we? Especially when you're approaching 50 and menopause, fun times. Yay. All right, here we go. This is the message from the tarot. For all those who are listening and watching. There, we'll go there, that one. A judgment. Wow, huge. This is beautiful. So applicable to what I was just saying. Judgment's all about, you know, if we had a soul reflection here on Earth, this would be it. Judgment is very much about you going back over all your life lessons, achievements, mistakes, things you regret, but things that you've also learned from. But it's about setting yourself free from past burdens that have held you back, whether that is things like regret or whether it's mistakes that you've made. Judgment is about remembering that no matter what you've done or what you've been through, there's always a way to embrace that into something positive, okay? And to forgive yourself, letting go of any form of self-doubts as well. You know, and that's another good thing, you know, that shadow work's beneficial for, and shadow work's about going within and confronting those self-sabotaging beliefs and insecurities that we all have to some degree, and letting go of that and to being able to face it so that we can utilise that to move forward. Hi, Linda. How are you? Hope all's well.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you so much for calling. What can I do for you this evening?
I just didn't know if you had just an overall reading, anyone from the other side who wanted to connect, or just like a general reading.
Sure, no worries. Well, we'll see what comes through for you, Linda. I have mentioned before to other callers that when I'm doing tarot readings, I sometimes get spirit messages come through, sometimes not. And it's not something I really have a whole lot of control over, to be honest. They kind of just pop up when they want to, and sometimes not even the person that you think it might be, or the spirit. But
right.
We'll see what comes through. I'll do you a reading, picking up on your general energy, and whatever is coming through for me. I'm actually getting a lot better now at opening up my third eye to communicate more without even looking at my cards. I've been practicing that. So we'll see what comes through for you, okay? Now, if there's no connection made with spirit, or loved one on the other side, I just had a flyer. The cards will pick up on the strongest energy around you, okay, Linda? All right.
Great.
So
Sounds wonderful.
All right. We've just had a few cards come out here. All right. Is your father, has he passed over?
He has, yes.
All right, I'm feeling the energy of your father here, and the reason I'm feeling the energy of Dad is because the Emperor was there, and straight away, without me even having to look at it, I kind of felt this fatherly energy. I'm picking up on a bit of regret. Linda, was there some conflict between you before he passed?
No. I mean, it's been some time. He's been gone over 10 years.
Yeah.
The Five of Wands was there too, and there's that kind of fiery energy there, that there was potential conflicts or disagreements that were going on, that he's now wanting to reach out to say to you that he sees it all in the bigger picture now, and all those petty little arguments that might have been going on, either between you or could have been with other family, actually. I'm just bringing some more cards out here. He's saying to let go of that, okay? So that was the main message I got through straight away, was that there was unresolved conflict, and he wants that resolved. Oh, look, here we go. There's a lot of fire here. I've got the King of Wands here. Now, this is awesome. This is Leo energy, very determined, passionate kind of energy here. There's someone who's also very strong with their values, and someone who's not afraid to sort of pursue or stand true to what they think is right and wrong. But it's also someone who is quite successful business-wise and having the courage to go after what they want. So that card just flew out, and I'm just unpacking this a little bit more to see there. There's the Sun. Beautiful. All right, so the strongest message I was getting from your dad is for have a chat with some family members, okay, because if there was unresolved conflict there, Dad wants to know that it's all okay, all right? He's basking literally in the sun. I'm picking up this was conflict to do with another child. Do you have siblings?
I do, and that's probably what it is. It's probably with siblings. I think yeah.
That's what I'm getting. He's reaching out to say, oh, look, there's the Empress there too. There could be a pregnancy in the family as well, but I'll tap into that in a minute. Okay, the strongest energy from Dad is reaching out to either yourself or one of your siblings to acknowledge the conflict that happened. He's now healed. All right, he sees it all in introspection now, okay, very much still with you, but wants peace there, okay, to let them, whether that's an apology to forgive, whatever, it's all okay, all right? That's beautiful energy, the Sun. It's all about self-actualization and realising and ascending to that next level and being able to see things from the bigger perspective too, okay? Now, do you have a pregnancy in your family at the moment, Linda?
No, we do not.
The Empress is there, meaning that someone might be pregnant either now or very soon, okay? She's not always pregnancy. She can represent the mother of the tarot as well, the divine feminine. So let me unpack this a little bit more and see what else comes through. Three of Wands in reverse. Here we go. And Hangman. I'm actually tapping back into your dad's energy here. All right. I think the Empress could represent your mother. Okay. Is she still with you or not?
No, she has passed as well.
Well, I'm not getting her energy in spirit, but what I am getting is Dad's energy tapping into Mum. And I think a lot of the conflict that went on that came out earlier, okay, was to do with one of your siblings having some resentment there towards something that happened with Mum, okay, and they're stuck from healing from that, okay, with the Hangman there. They're really struggling to move on from this and to forgive and to let go, and that's what Dad's coming through to try and say now, is that there's healing there. It's okay. Whatever conflict that there was in the past no longer matters on the other side. It's a little bit like that Miyake stuff, the day-to-day stuff that we get caught up in, that when we do cross over, we see it all for what it is. And, there's none of those petty human incentives there on the other side. And that's what he's really trying to say, because I do believe that this is either your mum, that's what I'm getting actually, or it's a pregnancy within the family that's possibly even early, but I don't think so. I think this is energy to do with your mum, okay? So that's sort of the strongest energy I'm getting at the moment. I can unpack that a little bit more if you like. And feel free to ask a question if you want. Linda, if you have a question for me as well, because I've still got a couple of minutes left. So let's see what else comes out.
I guess just about my daughters, that just in their future and that all is well with relationships.
All right. Okay. All right. So with the Knight of Swords in reverse and the Hierophant there, I'm feeling that this is a very spiritual time for her at the moment. I am picking up that she's been significantly hurt. Even she's probably been the victim of abuse in a situation, whether that's verbal or physical, I'm not sure, because when the Knight of Swords is in reverse, he can be quite abusive, okay? And normally in a way that's, where he's not thinking rationally, he's just behaving, quite sporadically and spontaneously and selfishly. He may have left her in a position where she was financially vulnerable. Okay, but at the same time, there's quite a really nice energy here because she's starting to realise her power to set herself free from this situation, and I do see her very much consulting with either a spiritual mentor here or she's really turning to her spiritual values. Okay, because that's the Hierophant there, and the Hierophant's always someone who can help us bring, by tuning into our spirituality, by embracing our spirituality, that's what helps us heal and to overcome these difficult times. So at the moment, I see she's still healing from a significant pain, and she's taken a lot of that on board. The Ten of Wands in reverse, I get the sense that she was rescuing this person, okay, her ex. He could be current still. She was trying to save him. She was trying to help him. She was trying to fix him, but he took advantage of that. He possibly took advantage of her financially, like I said, with the Five of Pentacles being there. I've got a couple of minutes left. I'll unpack that a little bit more. The Knight of Cups in reverse, again, is confirming that there was mental health stuff going on here. This guy played on her emotions big time. I mean, it doesn't have to be a male. I'm not sure what a sexuality is, but yeah, I am getting male energy. And yeah. No, okay. Let's move forward. Where is she going? Because it is acknowledging the pain that she's been through. All right, because card after card is acknowledging how deeply hurt this person has made her feel, and her healing journey will be successful through her path to spirituality. So whether she's Christian or whether she's more alternative with her spiritual practices, whatever it is, that's really going to help her heal. Where is she going moving forward? So she's got a lot of healing to do. Judgment in reverse is there. She's internalizing a lot of this. She needs to learn to forgive herself, okay? And that's probably something, it's hard for a mother to tell a daughter to do that, but that's something you could support her through with that is, Judgment came out as the collective card today before I read you, Linda. And there's a massive need for her to go back within and set herself free and forgive herself from these painful lessons that she's been through. Because by doing so, that's where she's going to have victory and she's going to be okay. She will be fine. That's the Six of Wands to say that she will get through this and she'll be acknowledged for that. And there is joy and success there. Okay, she will be okay, but she's got some healing to do and she needs to forgive. Now, Linda, sorry I have to cut you short now because I do have to get going. I've only got 30 seconds left. Thank you so much for the honour of letting me read you, and I hope that it's been helpful. Again, it's about forgiveness and letting go from past mistakes, but also embracing those to realise that they do make us whole and more enlightened. Right, thank you so much, everybody. I'm wishing you all a beautiful weekend, and unfortunately, I'll be an apology for next week, but I will be back the following week. So take care and bless be. Thanks.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Mystic B Spiritual Insights, hosted by Anna Marie. Live from mystic-b.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Mystic B Spiritual Insight
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Mystic B Spiritual Insight. I am your host, Anna Marie. I hope life has been treating you kind lately, and I just am so appreciative that you've decided to tune in. This is a really special time each week for me. Really want this to be valuable for you too. So I'm looking forward to all that's coming up in the next 30 minutes. If this is your first time tuning in, just to let you know, you can watch every Thursday, same time, same place. We are available via live stream. You can listen by podcast on a number of platforms. And if there's any episodes that you happen to miss, you can always watch the replays. Just stay tuned to A1R Psychic Radio, Moonstruck TV, or our Facebook page. What I'd like to do is first just set the intention for us to all connect with just some open minds, open hearts, and being gracious with one another. We do our very best to take callers we can. I think everyone that's meant to receive a message will receive a message. Just always remember that if for some reason you don't get a live reading today, there's probably some other information or insights that you can take away from the callers. You can also connect for a private session one-on-one through my Facebook page or the mystic-b.com website. You can also connect with other wonderful psychics on the network and also come back next week. So I will be taking 2 live callers tonight, as I've tried to do each episode, but I first want to share a little bit of a numerology update. So in addition to offering spiritual insights through psychic readings, I also do numerology and a few other things, but some people aren't as well acquainted with numerology. So simply said, numerology really is just the study of numbers and their mystical meanings and how we can use that information to gain insights about personalities, events, spiritual paths. It's just one other tool that people can use kind of along their spiritual journey. So I do wind some numerology messages into these episodes, but I want to start sharing a little bit more numerology 101 on my Facebook page to help teach some of you how to calculate your own individual numbers. So just want to say, stay tuned to my Facebook page. If you're not following, feel free to do that. I'm going to start doing just a little bit more education around numerology on the sites. And then that will help you. If you join these episodes on Thursdays, you'll get a little bit more insight as I start weaving in more, just more in-depth numerology messages with the show. So we do have the intention to have a couple of callers today, but again, I want to just encourage you to just be open-minded about the messages that we receive. It's really hard when we're calling in for a reading and we have a specific subject or topic on our mind. We get a little focused. So we've had other situations, reading with people over the last 30 years where someone really wants some specific information. So when I take callers, I'm going to go ahead and just ask if you want a general reading or if there's a specific question. We'll go ahead and dive into whichever scenario you've opted for. But just keep in mind, sometimes we are meant to receive other information. We don't always get the privilege of connecting with those on the other side, but I will always do my best and just honor the information that I'm receiving. So for the group as a whole, I thought before we jump in, we'd just look at just maybe some general messages for audience that maybe won't be calling in. This is, again, the master number 11 is the month of February. It's the universal month of February. So we've talked a little bit about lining intuition. We've talked about just following alignment. It's also about negotiations, partnerships, agreements. So we have, a few days left in the month. I would just want to encourage you to just really think about the energy that's available to you to make peace, find harmony, really reflect on your values, the intuition that you are given with just as a gift, and see what you can do to make the most of these last days of the month of February. We're going to have a lot of exciting energy coming up in the month of March. Energetically, we'll be looking at the number 3, which is really all about expression and joy. It's going to be a little bit more playful, not so serious. So hope you all stay tuned for that. And we actually have Cindy joining us. Cindy, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, Cindy. Thanks for tuning in. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
I want to know how I can be of service to you. So would you like a general reading, or would you like to discuss a specific topic, or do you have a specific question you'd like to cover?
Probably just a general reading.
Okay. Let's see. Well, first of all, I will say not too many people know that I lived in Kentucky at one point. I'm not familiar with Grayson, but I was in Louisville. So I hope that you are staying warm in Kentucky.
Very cold here.
Yeah, I know. One of the reasons why I probably moved. The weather is not always my friend.
Well, we got flood and then snow.
Yeah. Well, I just bundle up. We're happy that you're with us tonight. I'm going to do my very best to give you something meaningful during our time together. I feel like the first thing that's coming up, Cindy, I feel like you're worried about someone not being honest with you, or keeping a secret, or not being as transparent maybe as they should be. Does this resonate with you at all?
Yes.
Okay. And I always try to be mindful that we're in a public environment. So sometimes I will tiptoe around types of relationships or specific relationships just out of respect for you. So if there's anything that we're not able to cover, Cindy, on this call, you are more than welcome to reach out directly to me through Facebook Messenger or something, and I can always share more insights. But I feel like this feels like it's a pretty big deal to you. I'm going to say, I think you have great concern that something has changed in your environment. You're just not getting all the information that you need from someone. It does feel like more of a personal relationship than a professional relationship. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. I also feel like this relationship, it's long-standing. I feel like that this person, I'm just going to say person, has been in your life for quite some time. And I would say for some reason, I think you used to be on a pedestal, and it may be that maybe you're not getting all the attention or communication or interaction that you used to get. Does that also make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't feel like anyone's deliberately trying to lie to you. Okay. I don't think that anyone's going out of their way and trying to mislead you or lie to you. But I do think that there are some circumstances that someone believes you are better not knowing. And not necessarily because you don't deserve to know, but I feel like they don't want you to worry, or they don't want you to make it a bigger deal than it really is. Does this sort of relationship or interaction with this person, does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay. I think that this is a time for you. One, I want to encourage you to be direct if you have concerns. I think keep the emotions in check, be direct, and just ask if there's a need for a conversation or how the person is doing, whether or not there's anything that you can be supportive about. And so you're not targeting a specific topic, but you're having kind of a more open-ended approach to see if they might reveal a little bit more information to you. But I also feel like this is happening in the sense that you need to trust this relationship. I feel like that it's been on shaky ground for a while because of just life changes, life events. And I feel like you need to kind of reflect on foundation and communication and loyalty that has been there in the past. Does this make sense for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you wondering, just in calling tonight, were you wondering if you might find out some dirt or some dish on someone doing something that's not okay?
No, not really. I mean, like, I'm emotional, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, stressed
I think
out.
it scares. Yeah, I think it scares this person. Cindy, I think just because you are emotional, I think they're just worried that if you knew that certain things maybe weren't going as well as this person would like them to, that you would worry, you would stress out, you would get over involved, you'd get really upset. And I just think that they're trying to protect you by not sharing, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if we can figure out
a lot of financial struggles.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I feel like so. There's also an element of control. You know, I think that this person just they want to be the boss, and I think you also like to be the boss. Would you say that's true? Okay. So I'm not going to dismiss the fact that I think this person, probably what doesn't feel good to you is, you not having information feels a little bit like a weapon, but they're just controlling about all sorts of things. So just take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if they're in the military, but I get that sort of energy that they've been in the military, or they kind of just keep things close to their vest. They like to have the power and the decision making. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. I also feel like, have you had someone pass in the last year?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just getting, I think that there is, I don't know if there's a connection between the secrets and the person that's passed away. But I just feel like part of the worry and the concern about you is that you've also gone through some other things this past year. So because they don't want to put more on your plate, so to speak. So I'll just say I'm sorry, and I'm sorry for the loss that you've had, but I think that you're doing pretty well under the circumstances. Was this a parent?
No, it was my uncle.
Your uncle. Okay. I just feel just the older energy, but I feel like you're doing well under the circumstances. So, just keep the faith, my friend. Just remember the foundation this relationship and connection was founded on. And just know sometimes they just do the power play sort of stuff. But I don't think they're meaning to hurt you. I don't think they're doing anything really scandalous. I just think they're withholding information because they know how you will react when things aren't going well, and that you take too much on yourself. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. No idea where you can go gambling in Kentucky, but I also feel like it feels like in the coming months that you may do something whirlwind-ish. It's almost in celebration of getting through kind of this season that you've been in. So I don't know if you have plans to go to Vegas or if you're thinking something, but I feel a gambling energy, kind of a whirlwind, just kind of 2, 3, maybe 4-day getaway to just really cut loose. So if that opportunity presents itself, I would say it would be good for you because I think you deserve it.
Okay. That's
Are
funny
you all
that
right?
said that. It really is, yes.
What makes it funny?
I'm getting ready to take a trip.
Okay. Well, that's good because I see it and I think you just need to cut loose, let your hair down, have some fun. And for some odd reason, I think you're gambling. So I don't know if you play bingo or slot machines or where it is, but I think you've got
bingo and I do scratch off.
Okay. So I just think that you're going to have a good time. Yes, you're going to have a good time. Let your hair down. And my dear, just don't worry. I know you've been through a lot. I just think that this person is really trying to protect you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I hope that helps. And you have a great time on your trip.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, I think we have Shelley calling from California. Shelley, can you hear me okay? That's okay. We're just going to take 1 minute here. So we love that Cindy is going on a trip. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm definitely jonesing for a trip. It's been a little cold here in Boise over the last few weeks, and we're just starting to warm up a little bit this week. So we'll get through the winter months in the U.S., and I'm looking forward to spring, that's for sure. So I think we're just waiting for Shelley to get reconnected. And we'll just give it another minute. So in the meantime, know if anyone else out there might be in a situation. Okay. Hey, Shelley.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Oh, well, Simi Valley, California. I'm just around the corner in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, I got to get on a plane to see you.
There you go. So I would like to know how I can help you, Shelley. Would you like a general reading or do you have a specific question or topic that you would like to try and cover?
Half and half. I'll go with the more general, not general, but something's been happening to my house, I want to say for 10 years now, where things are open, things are moved. It starts at about 2 a.m. with a big boom in the house. Neighbors think we're bowling down the stairs, that it's such a large boom that enters my house. I've had DCLA paranormal activity people at my house, psychics at my house. And I'd like to know if it's a poltergeist, if it's a member of my family.
So I don't know. So why don't we start there? So I'll be fully transparent. I'm not a Ghostbuster.
Okay.
I'm very connected.
Then we can go general. Yeah,
that's okay. Well, we can start with this, and it may be Shelley, that this just sort of evolves into just a broader message for you. So I would think first.
I don't know because my mom was living with us. This was before she passed away. This was right after my sister passed away, and my husband and all of us heard things. Covered.
I think what I'm saying, Shelley. I think what I'm trying to say, Shelley, is that don't worry about asking for specifics or general. I think the energy that I get, I will do my best just to give you an authentic message that is meant for you. I'm hearing. Okay. I believe your situation is real. I'm just telling you it's not a specialty of mine, but energetically, I get a male energy. But before I get into that, Shelley, I think what's most important is that you not be afraid. Okay.
I'm not. I actually find it interesting.
Well, and this is what I was going to say. I think that you're open to the energy. You're obviously paying attention. I almost feel like just energetically, I feel like this is a game. It's sort of become a game. So I don't know, the male energy that I'm getting feels like they have a really great sense of humor. And I don't know, it feels sort of up here, but maybe a little bit older than you. Did you say your husband passed?
No, not my husband. My sister did, and then my mom did.
Okay. So I get masculine energy. So if it is, if it's a relative, we'll say, I don't know if they're trying to communicate something to the masculine energy, but I think just first and foremost, don't be afraid. I think if you want to change the energy in your home, if you want it to stop, I think it's literally as much as having strong intention with everyone in the house to ask that it stop, or maybe give them other alternatives like, hey, instead of sounding like a bulldozer, can you play some music or play with the lights, right? Instead of the stairs. So I think your intention in what is happening in your home is probably first and foremost, but it feels like just there is spirit energy. It feels playful to me. It feels more like a game, and I get male energy around it. So I don't know how old your house is. I don't know if you have any other kind of history where you are, but again, just first and foremost, don't be scared, set your intentions, and literally just know you can communicate with all of these energies directly. Just give them some options, tell them how you feel, and I think you can find those boundaries that you're looking for. Okay?
Not harmful.
Pardon?
As long as I know that they're not harmful.
Well, that's why I said I don't think you should be afraid. And you said you're not afraid. You're
not at
curious.
All. Yes.
Right? And,
yes.
And I think it's that curiosity that is noticing the additional activity. So let's move on from that one. Again, just focus on your intentions. Focus on what it is that you would like to happen, have your direct communication, and I believe that will get sorted out. But I do want to talk a little bit more about just sort of the male energy. I know you said you're married. I feel that there is some sort of business proposal coming up. I don't know if someone has approached you or your husband, but I feel like there's an opportunity to invest in some sort of business pursuit. Does this resonate with you?
No, just that my old boss called me to come back, and I'm contemplating that.
So that's a proposal, right? And that's business. I would say it's employment, right, as opposed to like an individual business venture. But I am going to say this. I think that this opportunity that's presenting itself, I think you do need to think long and hard about what that means for you, because you have the hindsight 2020. So just think about your time, the time and energy that you've put in before. I feel like you may not have been receiving all that you were entitled or deserved before. So I want to encourage you to use this as a huge negotiation opportunity. So first, before you give any sort of response, come up with your own list of how can this opportunity make your life better? What is it that maybe you didn't have before that you would like in the future? And I feel like this isn't a long-term scenario. I think you could do it for a couple of years if you want, but I feel like even in the short term, this may be something that you only want to do for 6 to 12 months. But I think it's an opportunity. Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for you to definitely bring some more income. And I hate to say I think you're bored, but I think you're bored.
I am.
I think you need some things to do right now, and I think that this would be good for you, but don't give an answer until you have your list of sort of negotiable counter offer, because I think you can get basically anything you want right now. Job title, more money,
could be right.
Days off.
I do think you could be right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay, now health. What about health? Do you come across anything with that?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I sort of have these weird cosmic agreements that I don't really do death and health. I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose things, but I can just energetically say this. I remember when I just said that you were bored?
Yes.
I'm not going to call you a hypochondriac, but I'm going to say I think sometimes you look for problems health-wise.
Because I'm bored, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't sense energetically that there's anything wrong. I think that you probably have the same list of things that lots of people can do. You know, we can all get more water. We can all eat a little bit better. We can get some more exercise. But energetically, I feel like you're a healthy, active person. I just feel like you're bored and you're trying to come up with things. And that may also be why you're paying a lot of attention to what's happening at the house. Maybe the energy in the house wants you to go back to work. So just,
I don't know. I think it's something like you hit it on the head, playful.
Yeah,
Whatever
I think
it's playful.
Yeah, I think it's playful. Yeah. But I will say this. I think use what you can for this opportunity to negotiate another step forward with your employment and financial circumstances. Don't worry about the energy at the house, and just know I think that there's a lot of other exciting things coming, but this employment situation is probably 6 to 12 months. And just look forward to the future. Keep yourself busy. But I thank you so much, Shelley, for calling in. I wish you the best. And just don't be afraid in your home. Don't be afraid.
I'm really not. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. Just appreciate it. But I think you've got some other things coming up. I think you're going to go back to this job. Just make sure that you've got your list of demands, because I think you can get a lot out of this situation. Okay.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're so very welcome. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, as we know, life can bring us all kinds of turns. I just want to thank all of you for spending time with me. I'm sure there's a lot happening in your own world, but I know you're all contributing to your family, your community, special causes, and advocating for others, but it means the world that you're here. I hope to see you next week. Again, if you'd like to connect through the Facebook page, you can plug in with A1R Psychic Radio. You can tune in to Moonstruck TV, and you can also reach one-on-one on mystic-b.com. Wishing you lots of love, insight, and beautiful energy, and I'll see you next week.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Live from LadyDPsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Astrology and Psychic Reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm Lady D, your host for this segment. I hope you've all had an amazing week ahead. So today we have the new moon that is happening in Pisces on the today, 28th of February at 11:45 a.m. to happen this morning it's my time. So with this with this new moon that we've got coming in, it is going to be, we are dealing with Pisces energy. So it is going to, I feel like there's two energies that are mixing together that we've got dealing with today. I feel like with the tries that we have to Mars, so we do have the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, all to Mars, which is giving us that strength and giving us that a bit of hopeful vibe that things are going to be okay. But then we've got a square with the Moon and the Sun to Jupiter, which I feel like is causing underlying anxiety. I've been feeling like whenever I've been doing my readings for today, for my YouTube and for my TikTok, I kept on seeing in my tarot, Marvel Tarot, kept on seeing the card that represents Iron Man, and it was just bringing me to the third movie where he has panic attacks. So I do feel like today might be bringing up panic attacks, like nervousness, anxiety, escapism, because we're dealing with Piscean energy. There even could be a little bit of victim mode happening as well. But then on the positive side, it's part of it does feel like things are okay and that brighter outlook. So I feel like it's like where there's two feelings that are coming up here that people are dealing with today with this new moon. And it's just the beginning for what's going to be a month to remember when we're dealing with March. Because we do have a lot happening in March in the sign of Pisces and also Aries. So we've also got coming up on the 3rd, that's going to be a very big day this week. We have Mercury, which starts off in the morning at 3:21 in the morning, conjuncting Neptune, and that's going to be in Pisces. So with that, it's going to be either a dissolving communication, or it could be a sense of manipulation also happening. It also could be a sense of going within, like being our thoughts more internal, and our thoughts might be a little bit unrealistic as well that day. But by the afternoon at 8:04 p.m., Mercury's moved into Aries. So it's completely different vibe. So that day in the morning to how you're going to feel at night will be a completely different. When we're dealing with Mercury in Pisces, in Aries. So if you are someone who's born with that, you've got very strong thoughts. You might be a little bit of an argumentative person, very strong beliefs. And you might be thinking that you are a leader, that you're here to rule, you're here to really move forward, to do things. I feel like you're not into complicated things. You just want things to just happen now, a little bit impatient. And a little bit, I find with Aries, they can be a little bit forgetful because it's like they're always on to the next thing. So you might be like thinking of, what to do next and not sort of finishing what you start. So there's these two energies in the same day that is going to start on the 3rd. We've also got on the 3rd, we have the Sun square Jupiter. So it might feel like things aren't going your way that day. It's a day of all sorts of these energies all mixing together and compiling with one another. Plus, we've got on the 2nd, so we've got Sunday, which is my Sunday. We've got Venus retrograde that's happening in Aries as well. So with Venus ruling money and also relationships, and it's in Aries, I feel like this could affect leaders. I feel like it will affect money. And being in the sign of Aries, it may affect things that are like luxury items. I feel like this is also going to affect certain relationships as well. With all the energy that's going to be coming into Aries this month, it could definitely bring on some sort of like fighting energy or could be war energy. Globally, we're looking at more leaderships as well because Aries rules leaders. It's going to be an interesting month to remember. And I feel like I always believe in destiny, and whatever we are faced, we definitely can get through it because that's whatever, you can always get through whatever's faced. Even though it seems like sometimes it's hard, there is everything we can do. We can always get through it because when you look back at your past and you look back what you've been through, like you've been through some troubled times or stuff that's been coming up, but you've always been able to get through it. So it's good to remember whatever happens that you can always get through it because this month is going to be unpredictable. A sense of like a reality check. I feel like there's like some like unlocked mysteries here like from the past. And there could be a lot of uncertainty coming up, but I also feel like that we're going to get through it as well because we have to. We all can. Let's go to the caller. So we got here Chloe. She's in Texas. So hi, Chloe. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So how can I help you today?
I don't know. I was just kind of wondering, like, where I'm going in this life. I've been pretty stagnant, and my relationships have been kind of poor lately.
Hey. Okay. So with you, Chloe, when I tune into your energy, I just feel like I get I get communication with you. It's like you're not saying how you feel, or you're not talking about like how you feel with a certain situation that's happening around you. I feel like there's a sense of like belonging as well, like a thing of belonging. I feel like you kind of need to I feel like you need to say what you feel. I don't know who this is to. I don't know what it's about, but I feel like it's something about the home. I feel like you're just letting things run or let things be, but I don't know. I keep on getting with you, it's communication with you as well. What I will say to you as well is that slow and steady wins the race. I also feel like with you in change, I feel like when we get to another year, like the next February, you're in a different headspace and you have grown a lot. There is changes to come, but I also feel like some of the changes that you want to bring in, like I feel like there's things that you need to do that you're not doing. I feel like that you're waiting for these things to come into your life, but you're not. I feel like you need to be. There needs to be like proactive here, or things need to be. Like you're waiting for something to come to you, but it's like you need to do some work yourself to make them come in. I feel like, I don't know if this is your job, I feel like this is your job. But it's like you're trying to catch your tail. So it's like you're going around in circles a little bit here. You're trying to like catch your tail. And there's a sense of bored. Does this make sense?
Yeah, a little bit, for sure.
Okay. Because I feel like that, I was thinking about you running out of time to do something. Like, I don't know if you feel like your age, but it's running out of time. I also feel like there's a sense of being more active. I get you've got a dog as well. You've got a pet dog. Because I see a dog around you.
Yeah, I have a dog.
Yeah, I see a dog around you, and it's like you're needing to go out with the dog and have fun and run with the dog. So I see that as well with you. I feel like there's something here about your work. I do get a sense of higher duties or climbing the ladder, but there's like groundwork that you have to do. I feel like you're sitting back, and again, it's like waiting for something to happen, but I feel like there's something here you need to do, like whether it be more study or you've got to make yourself be more seen. Like I feel like you're being a little bit overlooked, but I don't know if it's like an effort thing. I just feel like there's the pathway is there. It is available to you, but I feel like you need to be seen more to be able to get the opportunity. I feel like there could be something coming up for you in late March this year, but I just feel like there's something that needs to happen before you can progress. What do you do for work?
I'm a paralegal. We're a criminal defense attorney.
Okay. Cool. So paralegal, okay. Are you looking at I'm not sure how it all works, but are you wanting to be going up higher in the system, like either a judge level or something higher?
Not necessarily in that field, I guess. I think where I'm kind of just have been stagnant. I mean, I need to go back to school. I don't have a degree, and I my boss keeps pushing me to do so, and to help me for my benefit, obviously. But I just
I think that's where I'm
had trouble getting started.
I think that's what I'm seeing, where I was saying you need there's pathways there, because I see like someone with the wig on in the black robe. So that's why I said about being a judge, and I could see the pathway there, but it was like I knew you needed to do something. So it could be the study that's needed to be involved. Like, I feel like you can, once you're motivated, once you've got everything full steam ahead, you are quite articulate. You can be quite very bright. But I feel like there's a sense, I feel like the sense of sucking off here. But I feel like, though, in the right environment, you could really thrive. I also feel like you're very good at helping people who are underprivileged or who need the help, who maybe don't have a lot of money. It's like they call it probate. I think it's a probate. I think they call it, or pro bono. I think it's called pro bono. I feel like that is good. You need to study. This is going to keep coming up for you, because unless you study, it's going to be the same old. I feel like this is the things where I was talking about the changes that you want. There's things that you need to put in, because otherwise I feel like that you're just going to keep being overlooked here. But I do get changes to be made next year, but I feel like you've got to put the work in to get the outcome that you want. And I don't see it's going to be handed to you. You're going to have to work for it. Okay. Thank you for calling in today. I hope I've helped you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's all right. So everybody, if you want to contact me for a reading, you can. My website is Lady D Psychic Parties, and my Facebook page is also Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram is Lady D Psychic. My TikTok is Lady D Psychic, and my YouTube is Lady D or Danielle Psychic. And don't forget, if you're looking to come on a holiday or a cruise and learn psychic development with me and 3 other ladies, it's the perfect location. We're going to be on water. It is a cruise, seven nights, and that is where, water is a conduit for psychic development, mediumship. So it's the perfect location. You will get something out of it. That website or Facebook page is psychicsatsea.com.au. The Facebook page is Psychics at Sea. So go and check that out if you want to be part of that wonderful experience in November. So thank you for your time today, and I will see you next week, same time, same place. I hope you will have an amazing week. Slow and steady wins the race, and remember, whatever challenges comes in our way, we can definitely face it, because we have in the past, and there's no reason why we can't do it what's coming up in our future, and the good things as well. So bye for now.